Attention, people of Appalachia. This is Paladin Rahmani of the Brotherhood of Steel, broadcasting from Fort Atlas. You are no longer facing the wasteland alone. The Brotherhood has returned. Our mission is to help you lead a better, safer life, free from the dangers left behind in the wake of the Great War. If you require aid, or if you wish to join us in our mission, find us at Fort Atlas. A new dawn is here for Appalachia. Join us in building the future. Rahmani out.
Hey, good to see you again. Welcome to Fort Atlas. I caught a little flack for using the logo when they arrived, but they were pretty impressed. So much work was already done. The Paladin asked me on the spot if I wanted to make it official as an initiate. I'm not too proud to say I got so excited I barely could say yes. They sure did. Trailing a bunch of recruits and new initiates they'd picked up along the way. Quite the sight to see, no lie. I was really glad I had something to show them when they got here. Yep, the Brotherhood renamed it when they turned it into their new headquarters here. Of course, what'd you want to know? I wasn't sure what to expect, really. I built up a picture of them, reading the old logs from Taggarty's group. This bunch, well, they just marched across the continent, and you can sense the strain. But the resolve in them is like nothing I've ever seen. Paladin Rahmani, their leader, she's really something. Makes you feel like you're part of a brighter future when she talks to you. Oh, it's an honor. I know that sounds like some recruiting poster nonsense, but really, it is. I finally feel like I'm part of something meaningful. Building a better world alongside other people who've committed their lives to that cause. Sure, sometimes it means doing guard shifts in the rain, but hey, small price to pay for real purpose, right? Well, aside from the initiates and hopefuls they recruited along the way, just 3. I was expecting more, honestly, but Paladin Rahmani said 3 was plenty to start a new chapter. With the recruits they have already, she's right. What do you need? Looking to sign up? Or just curious? Well, either way, I guess it's not me you want to talk to. Most of the fort's off limits to civilians, but if you're interested, Knight Shin's in charge of the new recruits. He's very serious about protocol and security, so you'll have to speak to him first if you want to get anywhere.
I have real duties to attend to. The outer perimeter is still unsecured, the provisions aren't properly stowed, and we're awash in hopefuls. I have no time to be babysitting civilians.
Your duties are what I say they are, Knight. Your objections are noted, but this is a direct order from your commanding officer. Help us put on a good face for the local people. We've just moved into their backyard. They're nervous. Show them we mean no harm.
If you insist, Paladin. If there's nothing further, I'll have the completed report on your desk shortly.
I expect nothing less from you. As you were, Shin.
Paladin. You had better have a reason for being here. If you're here with a request for the Brotherhood, get in line. I don't have time for you right now.
Military-grade hardware. Common amongst the ones from California.
That was a Brotherhood matter, civilian, and none of your concern. You're trying my patience, so get on with it. You're not one of mine. Don't tell me you followed that automated program Taggarty's people left behind at Fort Defiance. I respect that you did that. But that was a desperate measure on their part, and doesn't represent true Brotherhood traditions. You want to be one of us? You're gonna have to earn it. From living members, including me. Knight Daniel Shin, Brotherhood of Steel, 1st Expeditionary Force. We've got important work to do here, so get to the point.
If anything tries to attack, we'll be ready.
Did he? Initiate Dorsey is supposed to be manning his post at the entrance, not acting as my secretary. I am not known by my initiates for tolerating foolishness, outsider. Persist in that tone, and you will learn how much less I tolerate it from civilians. That is within the scope of Paladin Rahmani's directives. It takes more than just asking, of course. You would have to prove yourself. If you are sincere about wishing to join our ranks, you would have to earn the approval of the officers here, including me. Is that why you're here? Another hopeful dreaming of service to the Brotherhood? If we accept you as an initiate, and that is far from certain, you would be pledging yourself to our order and our cause. Our order exists to locate, secure, and protect dangerous technologies. Humanity cannot be trusted with the means to destroy itself. We will not allow another apocalypse. Make it quick. The specifics of our mission are not for discussion with civilians. We're here under orders from Elder Maxson. Stay out of our way, and we won't have any problems. If we accept you as an initiate, and that is far from certain, you would be pledging yourself to our order and our cause. Our order exists to locate, secure, and protect dangerous technologies. Humanity cannot be trusted with the means to destroy itself. We will not allow another apocalypse.
The elders have so much to teach us. I hope I'll get to meet them in person.
Initiate Dorsey is too trusting, but I can't fault his commitment. Perhaps he sees something in you worth our interest. Are you another aspirant to our order? Insults are for children. Grow up or move along, but stop wasting my time. Wanting isn't enough, and not everyone who shows up looking to join our order is worthy of becoming an initiate. Normally, I'd stick you with the other hopefuls until we decide whether you're worthy. But if you're serious about joining us, you've got good timing. There's something you could do for me that would help the order and demonstrate your qualities as a candidate. We've had a number of civilians show up here at Fort Atlas, asking for one thing or another from the Brotherhood. People are afraid, or want something, or are looking to involve us in local squabbles. Civilian outreach is not my specialty. There's too much left to do to secure this facility. If you're really interested in helping, save my time. Interview the petitioners, find out what they want, and report back to me. No. The chain that binds dictates a strict hierarchy of command. And, as the only knight present, the initiates are directly under me. Unless I say so, your contact with the Brotherhood stops here. To be in the Brotherhood is an honor, and a life of service. If that's truly something you want, start here. Perform this duty well, and we can talk about your future. My Paige? Don't just think. Make a decision. Talk to the petitioners, find out what they want, report it to me. Is that clear? Do this right. Don't make me regret giving you the opportunity. Conduct yourself properly, and we can consider putting you forward as an initiate candidate. The only reason you should be back here is if you're ready to give your report.
You better have something useful to say to me.
We'll make Atlas stronger than Fort Defiance ever was.
I just told you who I am. I already told them that when I got here. Nobody's listening in this place. I came here so that they can make things right, and they won't even listen to me.
Do I need to call a seminar on this?
What? Oh, hey, sorry about that. You're right, ain't right me blowing up on you like that. I'm just really wound up, and none of these Brotherhood types are giving me the time of day. Oh, can't even come to me himself? What, he needs to requisition some more armor polish? All right. Keep it cool, Sean. So, what's he got to say to me? I'm a scavenger mainly. Always been pretty good with a set of tools, so I do all right for myself, scrapping and fixing things. I trade what I find or fix with the folks at Foundation when I need something I can't get otherwise. Mostly, I like to be left alone. The problem is that a couple of these Brotherhood clowns showed up and took a bunch of my stuff at gunpoint. Now, I'm a peaceful man. I really am. I sure wasn't equipped to deal with armed thugs requisitioning the little I've managed to put together for myself. Never understood the Raiders. I like the quiet life. I don't need much, and I need trouble less. But after this, oh, I get it. I came here to give the Brotherhood a chance to make things right. Else maybe I go to Crater and start doing things their way. At least they don't pretend to be the good guys.
What the heck does ad victorium even mean?
All right. What else did you want?
The settlers want to rebuild, but they're
Don't
only
blow me
able to-
off like I'm making this up.
We need to understand
These people have a responsibility to fix this. They had the power armor, and they said they were Brotherhood. Sorry I didn't make sure to ask proof when they had me at gunpoint. Listen, I don't have much, but what's mine is mine, and these people took that from me. The Brotherhood pretends like they're noble, but then they let this happen? In their name? Raiders don't act like something they're not, and at least the gangs defend their own.
I'm never gonna make a name for myself holding down.
Then tell them, and get them to do something about it.
Look what the rad roach dragged in. Hey! Yeah, you. Who do I need to talk to around here? You know, about the guns? You don't look like one of these Brotherhood yahoos. Name's Tally Lane. What's your deal? I just told you, dummy. Tally Lane. Just, another chick trying to make it in the wasteland. You know? Who, me? Nah. Nah. Cool as a cryo grenade, me. Definitely. Shin? He the scary guy with the stick up his butt? Alright, shoot. What? Me? A raider? No. A little old me? Don't be silly. Oh, I'm just a poor country girl, you know? Parents died ages ago, so it's just me and a few friends trying to make our way in the world. It's pretty scary out there. Just a bunch of orphans helping each other out. We're practically just kids. Had to grow up on our own. We'd sure feel a lot safer with some of those high-tech guns these Brotherhood have to scare off all the maniacs out there. Yeah, that's right. Big shiny guns. Now, all the talk in the area is about these Brotherhood folks with their high-tech toys, and I thought, Tally, you gotta get some of that. For self-defense, of course. Just so me and some of my poor, innocent friends can protect ourselves from all the nasty folks out there. Why not? Hit me. Hey, you calling me a liar? I mean, I already told you. My friends and I just need them for self-defense. We'll pay good caps. Yeah, whatever.
Speak or go away. I do not tolerate eavesdroppers. Yes? Something I can help you with? I am waiting to speak with a Brotherhood representative. I have no interest in small talk with strangers. Perhaps I spoke too hastily. I can be rather unthinkingly brusque. Dr. Edgar Blackburn, at your service. Are you working with this Knight Shin? What has he said to you? I am sure you have more interesting things to do than listen to a poorly socialized wasteland doctor talk about himself. In short, I trained in multiple specialties before the war, and had a brief career as a research scientist prior to the bombs dropping. Finding myself fortunate enough to survive, I have continued my research, such as it is. Now I focus on the health of the people of Appalachia. Please do not ask me to examine any strange growths. I am not that kind of doctor. I had heard that the Brotherhood possessed advanced technology. As a doctor and a scientist, this was of great interest. My research is always in need of equipment and materials rather difficult to obtain by scavenging and bartering. I came to see if an arrangement could be made, but from what I can see of their operations, they are as yet still in too much disarray. Given the state of my fellow supplicants, I would hypothesize that their needs likely outweigh my own.
Hey, here comes trouble. I hope.
Very well. What did you wish to know? It would be difficult to express it in layman's terms. No offense intended. In essence, I have been studying the illnesses of Appalachia. For too long, people have relied on folk remedies and makeshift medicines. The long-term effects of this environment are concerning. Just because the radiation is survivable does not mean it is safe. Their hygiene standards are better than the lot at Crater, but no. I prefer to work in solitude. One day, perhaps, my research will be of benefit to them and all the other people of Appalachia.
You looking at something?
Very well, then. Perhaps we can be of assistance to one another, should our paths cross again.
Make it quick. Well, now, look at you. You with these Steel brother fellas? I've been waiting a good spell to talk to them. Longer than I'd prefer. These Steel types ain't half disorganized right now, it looks like. Heard the news about these fellas and reckoned I'd better go see
I
them.
imagine the Brotherhood would have
Ain't the only one either, I see.
from all its members. Shame.
Farming such as it is. Got a patch ain't barely more than scald. But it's mine, and I manage. Well, it's about time. I'd like to die of old age waiting on 'em. Name's Artnap. So, what's this night fella sent you for?
Fortifications appear adequate, if rushed.
Got seed in the ground right now. I ain't yet seen a raider willing to scrabble in the soil for seeds, so I reckon it'll get by till I'm back. Ain't much to tell. Been a farmer one way or another, all my life. My daddy before me, and so on. Set up in these parts after I heard it was safe again. Turned out, there's plenty of raiders fixing to take what ain't nailed down. Ain't much use belly aching about it, but neither am I just gonna roll over and let some bullies take what's mine.
Damn, even mean.
A fair trade's what I want. I've heard stories about these Steel types back in the day. They was going around taking things from folks. For the cause, they said. Yeah, like that don't make 'em raiders too. Well, I ain't got much, and I already got to worry about raiders. So, I reckon it's better to make a deal up front. My farm don't produce much, but I got some extra, and I expect they'll have a use for it. In return, I want these Steel boys and girls to keep raiders away from my farm. Heard a lot of noise they was on our side. So, seems fair.
Did you wish
I'm not going anywhere just yet. Shoot. Before they bombed the daylights out of everything, folks used to pay taxes in exchange for the government doing what it was supposed to do. Raiders will just take everything. This is a trade. Fair is fair, and a deal's a deal. I ain't care for people poking their noses into my business, but If a bushel or two to these Brotherhood keeps the raiders away, I can live with it. Could be.
We're building something big here.
Have you finished the task I gave you? Good. Let's get this done. I have the list from their arrival. Give me the high-level overview.
The Scorched, the Raiders, the Ghouls. If anything tries to attack,
I am second in command of this entire operation. That I have other things requiring my attention does not mean a task is not required. Paladin Rahmani wants these people to be heard, and you agreed that you would assist me in this. Do not make me regret the trust I've shown. We are not mercenaries here to serve as guards for anyone with some goods to trade in payment. This is not a charity. As a civilian, you are free to play hero for everyone that comes to you with a sad tale. The Brotherhood, however, has a duty to its mission, and that does not include playing bodyguard. Enough about that. What's next?
at Victoria.
Impossible. Whatever happened, it was not us. There are countless brigands out there, civilian. It is not the job of the Brotherhood to hunt them down one by one for their crimes. I will say it bothers me to hear that someone is abusing the honor of the Brotherhood this way. But that does not change the facts. Mr. Hawkman's problems are his own, not ours. Give me your next report. The Brotherhood is not a charity, and our mission does not cover providing civilians with equipment to pursue their personal interests, unless the Doctor intends to provide that research to the Brotherhood exclusively, and under our supervision, he will get nothing. Then, he can peddle his snake oil somewhere else. The wasteland is full of people claiming to be scientists or doctors. They are rarely either, and usually cause more harm than good. Next report.
Find, protect, and preserve.
No, we are not arms dealers. There was never any circumstance in which I would authorize weapons to that woman. But your vigilance is noted. That covers everyone. Against my initial judgment, you have shown that you can take orders and make yourself useful for the Brotherhood. You need to lose those soft civilian instincts, but I will make note of your assistance in my report to Paladin Rahmani. Should you wish to join our ranks, I will not oppose your enlistment. I grant you permission, provisionally, to enter the compound proper. Go to our scribe Valdez. You will need her support as well if you want Paladin Rahmani's attention. What I am going to do is make the recommendations I see fit in my report to Paladin Rahmani. As the commanding officer, the final decisions will be hers. And your concern in the matter ends here.
But look what else it wrought.
Orders and duty are the lifeblood of the Brotherhood. You are not yet one of us. Consider it a suggestion. Let me complete my report. If I do not have other pressing duties, then I will consent to your questions. Be vigilant, outsider.
We have to cut ourselves free.
Hello, civilian. I don't mean to be rude, but what exactly are you doing up here?
Find, protect, and preserve.
Did he now? Knowing Knight Shin, I'm guessing that's not exactly how it went down. But if you're a prospective initiate, then I guess we're both in luck. Paladin Rahmani makes the call on new recruits, but the Knight and I have some influence. It just so happens I'm in need of someone to help me out on a little mission. If you're interested, I can bring you along and put you to work. Do a good job, and I'll send a recommendation your way. How about it? Our new base is littered with old technology, but but there's something in particular I want to investigate. It's down in the bowels of this place, a part of Atlas that we've cornered off. I'm not keen on going alone, so I'd like some backup. Well, aren't you the trusting one? I'm Brotherhood. I'll keep my promise. No need to worry about that. Glad we can come to an agreement. Any questions before we start? All right, fire away. Ideally, yes, actually. In practice, not at all. We're supposed to be the lore keepers, preserving old technology for the betterment of today. Instead, I spend all my time soldering wires on busted comms equipment or tightening screws on tracking scanners. This investigation will be a breath of fresh air. It's what being a scribe should be about. Can I do it? Yes. But it's not my life's calling. Believe it or not, I didn't choose to be a scribe. I was born into it. My parents chose this life for me. I've gotten used to it, but it isn't mine. Night Shin would throw a fit if he heard just how unprofessional I was now. We should get back to business. Sorry. Business only. Normally I would, but today you came along. We have a lot of capable initiates, but we could always use more. Handle yourself well, and I'll be happy to vouch for you. Not as a civilian. However, if Paladin Rahmani lets you join our ranks, then I might reconsider. Especially if you're a big help on this mission. Sure. Ready to go? Great. Unfortunately, I need to finish up a few things here. Head downstairs and I'll meet you in a bit. Broken pipes.
Starting recording. Night Alan Connors. Brotherhood of Steel. Oh, 1 second. Let me toss another one on the fire. Screw it. I'll do a status report later. This one's off the record. Odessa, Daniel, I'm about halfway through the night shift, and it's gotten me thinking. I know it's been tough on you two. Neither of you are quite the grizzled old-timers that Layla and I are. I just want you both to know how proud I am. Not just to see you rise to the challenge, but to see you do it with such vigor and determination. For every bit of trouble this trip has been, it's only just started. But I hope you can enjoy calm nights like these, and take a moment to relax. Look, each of us have our reasons for being here, including Layla. You may not always see eye to eye, but know that she cares deeply for both of you. And Daniel, I know you probably feel she cares too much, but that's just her way. Leading from the heart has always worked out for her in the past. Trust me, man. I've been through the thick of it with her. In this journey ahead, we're going to need to rely on each other with unwavering support. The toughest trials have yet to come. But remember, we're more than a brotherhood now. We're family.
We could always use more initiates.
I am a link in the chain.
I suppose I can set aside a quick moment to chat. I'm originally from the California branch of the Brotherhood of Steel. I was posted near Mariposa before the bombs fell, and I learned that some members of the US military had created an organization to help people. As a member of the US military, joining up with the Brotherhood was a natural transition for me. I was in the National Guard. Helping those who are less fortunate has always been a passion of mine. Being able to help protect my community was an experience I'll never forget. But now, my mission is to protect you and the other people of Appalachia.
Raiders causing trouble again. We'll have to do something.
High Elder Roger Maxson is our leader back in California, and is the person who sent us on our mission to Appalachia. Sure. My mission in life is to help others and restore the world to what it once was. The Brotherhood of Steel is aligned with those goals. In addition to the preservation of technology, the resources that the Brotherhood can provide will assist me in accomplishing my mission. I will be at the forefront of rebuilding society. Sounds good to me. It's a beautiful land, and the people are resourceful. We will do everything we can to support them. All of us have taken the inoculation, but thank you for inquiring. It means a lot to me that the people of Appalachia care for the well-being of others.
The people of Appalachia think a bomb is a plaything?
They've done well to build such capable communities on the broken bones of the old world. Foundation is charming, and I admire their workmanship. The people of Crater may be more complicated, but I refuse to judge their group based on our past encounters with raiders. Over time, I'd like to build a lasting relationship with both of these settlements. Did I slip up again? Old habits die hard. I hope you'll be patient with us Westerners as we learn the local vernacular. Certainly. I'm here to listen. As the Paladin, I am the commander of this unit, and I'm here to establish a foothold for the Brotherhood of Steel. It is important that we restore society. And the steps that you have already made here in Appalachia are admirable. However, without the power of the Brotherhood, you will be unable to prevail. I am eager to lend that power. Absolutely. We are here to help in any way that we can, civilian. The Brotherhood of Steel are your saviors, civilian. We are the guardians of human civilization. We bring order to the wasteland, something that it desperately needs. First and foremost, our mission is to restore society and preserve any technology that will assist us in that goal. In addition, we are currently investigating what happened to the previous Brotherhood members from Fort Defiance. It is important that we establish a new foothold here, which will allow us to aid the people of Appalachia. Sorry, civilian. That information is classified.
Another nuke?
That is
Arrived in Appalachia not a moment too soon.
very sad to hear. Although not at all surprising. We feared the worst after we lost contact with her. I knew Paladin Taggarty back when she was lieutenant. Good woman. I have no doubt in my mind that she led the Appalachian chapter admirably. I'd like to make my way to Fort Defiance personally at some point to pay my respects. Those soldiers deserve some remembrance for giving their lives to protect this region.
What keeps this order together?
Yes, there was a unit here led by Paladin Taggarty. We lost contact with the group shortly before their mission to attack the Scorched, and we are unsure of their fate. Regardless of what may have occurred, their selfless courage is commendable. I'd love to answer any questions that you may have.
We should spend less time mourning Fort Defiance and more time here.
My mission in life is to help others, and the Brotherhood of Steel is aligned with those goals. I'm glad you're inspired by our mission. In order to fully accomplish our goals and establish a foothold here in Appalachia, we need to build up our ranks. If you're interested in recruitment, you can speak with my second, Knight Shin.
Left and right. The people of Appalachia think a bomb is a place.
Sure. What would you like to talk about? Stay safe.
Good, you're here. So, how do you feel about reading comprehension? I was hoping to start out by sweeping the area for documentation left behind from before the war. Oh, you've read a lot of terminal entries then. Really? Then your research acumen must rival my own. And how did you like reading all those terminal entries? Just all right. How anticlimactic. But enough about that. I'd like to get started. Let's head downstairs and see what we can turn up. Finally, real scribe work! We really need to get a team down here to get things cleaned up. Here's one. This must be Dr. Hammond, Atlas's lead scientist. We recovered some of his holotapes and logs in our initial sweep of the area. This tech down here is his handiwork, and he couldn't give it up. Even after the war, I should make arrangements for a proper burial. This looks like what we need. Here's a document. I think this is good. Let's talk for a sec. That should be enough to start. Let me take a look. Atlas decommission report. So the project was in bad shape after all? I knew it sounded too good to be true. Fascinating. Wow. This is some seriously classified stuff that I just let you read, isn't it? I wasn't supposed to show you any of this. I guess you're right. There's only so much I can tell you, but I'll share what I feel is relevant. Atlas wasn't exactly an observatory before the war. That was just a front. The military conducted research here. Pretty advanced research. We're down here to investigate and see what's worth salvaging for the Brotherhood. Whoa, 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 whoa. Looting is absolutely not what we're doing here. Everything of worth that we remove from this substructure is going with me, up to my lab to be cataloged and analyzed. Now, let's follow up on some leads from this report. I'd like to do a quick inspection of some key components that should be nearby. There's probably a terminal around here. If it's still running, we can do a diagnostics test. That will tell us about some of the less accessible hardware. The report mentioned that the machine's intake pump was under a lot of pressure. Let's find the release valve for that and give it a spin, see what happens. Finally, the lower core on this level should have a wiring box. Why don't we take a glance at that to get an idea of the electrical hookups? The release valve is an emergency mechanism that can relieve pressure on the intake pipes if they come under stress. If all is well, we'll just be able to turn it and nothing out of the ordinary will happen. The diagnostics test can tell us the state of some key components that we won't be able to test manually. Keep an eye on the state of each component and we'll want to look into them after the initial check. Think of the wires like the blood vessels of the machine. Without the electricity running through them, nothing's going to work. We just need to do a little checkup and see what condition they're in. Should be a simple inspection. You can have point, but I'll be looking over your shoulder the whole way. Take note of the details and we'll discuss how it goes after. Looks like we've got company! Interesting. That does it for the inspection. Let's talk. Alright, let's go over the inspection results. The diagnostics check revealed some issues. Flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured, and the ion focus? Misaligned. Problematic to say the least. Next, we have the release valve. That went... Well, what was your assessment? It certainly did. I'm going to mark that down as bad. Last but not least, the wiring. The wires were... Yep. I think the warm reception they gave us also points to that. Okay, well, sorry about the pop quiz. But in general, you're handling yourself well so far. A fair point. We have a saying among the scribes. Through discourse, we gain strength. This wasn't discourse. It was a test. I can't blame you for being upset. I wanted to see if you would pay attention. And I have my answer now. Sorry if I angered you. I'm worried about what our inspection turned up. There are a few parts I'd like to extract and examine in my lab. There's the pressure gauge, the core processor, and the ion focus. They should be upstairs. There's a lot I can learn from examining them if we can pull them out and get them back to my lab in decent condition. I want to take some notes on the core up there, so I'm going to leave the parts removal to you. Each extraction will be a little different, but in general, you'll want to use a light touch. I want the components in good condition, so please be careful. Any questions, or are you ready to get started? You saw what happened when we tested the release valve. I want to examine the stress on the gauge. That could tell us if all that built-up pressure was normal or an anomaly. Oh, and you may have to pry it off, but be careful about it when the time comes. The brain of the machine. It's the component that coordinates all of the others. It should be slotted into a terminal somewhere. May take a little technical know-how to extract, but nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. A very important and technical component. It helps force particles into a beam that the machine could fire to affect the weather. Somehow. Could take a bit of manual dexterity to pry loose without any damage. I'm counting on you. Let's see what you can do. Oh, I thought of one more thing. Can you pick up the induction coil up there on the machine core? What was that? That doesn't sound good. Whew. Whatever you did up there, the security system sure didn't like it. Thanks for the backup. I doubt I could have handled that on my own. Now that that's over with, let me take a look at what you've collected. The pressure gauge looks like it's in good condition. The core processor is pristine. Good work on that. The ion focus looks usable. Impressive. The induction coil seems fine. That's a relief. And what is this? This is... Is this ultrasight? Fascinating. This looks like some kind of compact power source. None of the documents, none of the terminals said anything about this. Did this power the whole machine? The fuel of the future. I'd heard the stories, but to think I could hold so much energy in my hands like this? Project Atlas may be beyond our power to repair, but we might have something here. I expected the machine to use a small reactor's worth of energy. They condensed that into a container I can hold in my hands. I could do a lot with this. You were a big help. I'm sure you have what it takes to be an initiate, and soon. Here, take this letter to Paladin Rahmani. She'll make the final call on letting you into the Brotherhood, but my wreck may tip the scales. I'm going back upstairs to take a look at these components. I need to catalog our findings. If nothing else, this ultrasight battery has piqued my interest. There's a lot I could learn from reverse engineering it. Oh, I'm giving you access to my private terminal, too. It has all the logs we recovered from when we moved in. After what we just went through, I think you deserve to know more about Project Atlas. Take a look if you get some free time. Thanks again for your help, and good luck with the Paladin. Have a question. The past has the answers, but I'm not a bad backup. Well, you aren't an initiate yet, but I guess we can discuss it a bit, since you helped out and all. I'd like to reverse engineer it and make more, of course. With the amount of energy it can unleash, we could power all kinds of things for a very long time. Think of how far a vertibird could fly on ultrasight power. No, I don't think so. As much as I'd love to, we're too short-handed, and I just don't have that kind of expertise. We'll have to make do with learning what we can from the project for now. Sure thing. What's the next topic? Lucky for you, I know all about us. We're an order dedicated to the preservation of science and technology. We find and catalog knowledge from before the bombs and keep it safe. That's one interpretation, certainly one I've heard before. But my journey here has only reinforced my faith in our mission. We're dedicated and organized. I trust us to do the right thing with the knowledge we gather. California, all the way across the continent. I've read that people used to fly that distance in a few hours, but the trek took us months. Maybe eventually we'll get flying again, but for now it's an arduous journey. We're here to help the people of Appalachia, and to catalog any technological discoveries we find. We set up Fort Atlas to that end. This old observatory has a wealth of technology to discover, and is a good staging point for future operations. We also want to learn the fate of the old Appalachian chapter of our order. MIA. Presumed KIA. You mean they died in the line of duty? Bravely? The Council of Elders, chief among them, High Elder Maxon, our founder. He proclaimed our mission and set us on the path we follow today. Our expedition leader is Paladin Rahmani. She's an aggressive and daring commander, who's taken us through many trials. Okay, what do you want to know? Sure. What needs explaining? We're the heart of the Brotherhood's mission to find, catalog, and preserve pre-war technology. Though sometimes in practice, well, let's just say I spend a lot of time calibrating things. We record things. Histories, schematics, every bit of knowledge we can get our hands on. We collect it all, compile it, and keep it safe, like old scholars or monks. Our name harkens back to that ancient tradition, so that's why we use it. Well, first you'll have to join up, and we don't just take anyone. Then it depends on your aptitude. Not everyone has the mind or patience for scribe work. But ultimately, if you're driven and competent, I don't see why not. Sure, what do you want to talk about? About me? What do you want to know? California, though, truth be told, I've spent most of my life in one bunker or another. My parents joined the Brotherhood when I was very young, so I grew up in the Order. Well, I think you're right. Though getting to see the world, even as it is now, is worthwhile. I do. Scribes are critical to the Brotherhood's mission. It's a mission I believe in. The work that comes my way can get tedious or overwhelming, but knowing I'm helping the greater good keeps me satisfied. We're a strong organization with a noble goal. Our methods draw some flack sometimes, but we're doing the right thing. Of course. What's the next topic? I'll be here if you need anything.
Ah, you must be the one I've been hearing about. Paladin Layla Rahmani. What do you need? I've received a report from Knight Shin detailing your assistance in his duties. He has given his approval to your consideration as an initiate. Word around the fort is that you've been working with Scribe Valdez as well. As a paladin, I am the commander of the 1st Expeditionary Force to Appalachia, and by extension, the ranking officer here at Fort Atlas. It takes more than hope to join the Brotherhood. Knight Shin has spoken in your favor, but you'd also need Scribe Valdez's approval for me to consider your candidacy. Well, between this and the report I have from Knight Shin, we can discuss you becoming a member of our order. Consider it carefully. Do you wish to join our ranks? Both have given their approval to your initiate consideration. Yes. Knight Shin said that your attitude regarding the role of the Brotherhood in relation to the civilian community was questionable. Nonetheless, he felt your intentions were honorable, and suitable training would correct any deficiencies. Which means he probably thought I'd like you. That remains to be seen. In short, she thinks you are capable, helpful, and possessed of a higher-than-average technical aptitude. Useful qualities in an initiate candidate. Yes? I know we can seem cold to outsiders, so I'll let that pass. What I want you to understand is that we are committed to helping the people of Appalachia. We want to aid in the restoration of civilization, and you could be a part of that. Consider it. Membership in the Brotherhood is a commitment to honor, duty, and service. You would begin as an initiate in our ranks. With time and training, you may one day join the Scrolls as a knight or scribe, depending on your aptitudes and choices. On a day-to-day basis, Knight Shin would be your direct superior here, though any of the officers may requisition you for missions if needed. With the recommendations of Knight Shin and Scribe Valdez, I'm willing to consider you for membership. But first, I need to see how you handle yourself without direct supervision. In order to be effective in our operations here, we need to establish positive relations with the people of Appalachia. If we make them see us as a beneficial presence in the area, it will be much easier to secure cooperation in the future. We have reports of feral ghoul attacks on traders and travelers in the southwest forest region, indicative of a nest of some kind. I want you to clear it out. While I'm not in the habit of explaining my priorities to would-be recruits, you may have noticed there's a lot of work to be done here. You doing it accomplishes the mission and adds another member to our ranks. 2 birds, 1 stone. Complete this mission satisfactorily, and I will grant you initiate status within the Brotherhood. Yes. Your reward is that I consider you worthy to join our ranks. Limited intel suggests this is a milk run, perfect for a new recruit. But you're not wrong. We don't know the level of threat. Take this as an additional precaution.
Appalachia's future will be decided.
We don't know. Our initial reports on the attacks came from a family of farmers, the Putnams, that we passed on the way into the region. I think their sons were rather starstruck when we showed up. I almost expected the older boy to follow us when we left. You should start your search there. They may know more. You can find them at the old Lewis and Sons farming supply.
Declined. And this ration request doesn't even have a name on it.
Very well. Do this, and you will be one of us, with all the rights and responsibilities of a full member of the Brotherhood of Steel. Ad Victoriam.
Mom! Whoa, whoa there. Mom, Dad!
Who do you think you are barging in here? George?
Hold it, stranger. No funny moves.
Pretty sure that's my line, Buster. I'm not the one busting in uninvited. Get over here and start talking before George puts some new holes in ya. Now you need to be more careful just waltzing into people's homes. It's a good way to end up with more lead in you than's healthy. I'm Carol Putnam. This is my husband, George. Now, won't you tell us why you're barging in here, and maybe we can all be friendly when you're done. Might not be Lewis or Sons, but this here's ours.
But Lewis was a cousin of mine back in the day. God rest his soul. He and his family didn't make it when the bombs fell. We were looking a good place to put down roots when we heard it was safe to come back to West Virginia. I told Carol we ought to see if this place was still here.
Even after all these years, there's enough salvageable tools and such to make starting a farm easier here than your average homestead. Didn't see any point in updating the sign. No, not all. Just the ones that waltz in unannounced looking like trouble. Those would be them military types in the heavy armor that came through here recently, right? I'm the one that told them about those attacks.
Those Brotherhood guys are so cool. Wait, are you recruiting? I want to sign up.
Their gear was pretty fascinating.
Settle down, boys. The adults is talking. So you want to know about them ghouls? Me, George, and the boys. Marty's the overeager one. Colin's the quiet one. I hope I don't need to remind you, we're not defenseless.
There's also the robots outside, of course. I got them helping with the chores.
Nerd. Boys, knock it off.
So, us, the robots, and the dogs, I guess. And enough firepower to discourage pests. Well, we're getting to be self-sufficient soon. Greenhouse is getting there. George wants to restore the house, but we're fine in here.
The boys are gonna want rooms of their own, dear. Don't act like you wouldn't mind being away from this snoring.
We've got other work needs doing first. Lord, if I can put up with your snoring for 20 years, I can surely deal with them. Lord, don't get them started.
Oh, yeah. The lasers, the power armor, they are the coolest thing I have ever seen.
Marty, you barely do your chores now, and you get confused by the generator. What good would you be?
Yeah, well, at least I'm not a shrimp like you.
I can pay you to get these two out of my hair.
George!
I'm just kidding. You boys know we love you.
Now, I don't like it, but they're adults. Or close enough, I guess. And I know they're bound to want to do their own thing, but the farm needs work. We can't do it alone. If one of them wants to go, well now, George and I'll just have to live with it. But you ain't taking both of my boys, though.
Ooh, me.
Careful, George.
You heard the wife. She says one of them can go, then one can go, I suppose.
I'd prefer you kept it that way, then.
I think I could be a real asset to you, though. I'm good with machines, and I work hard. Heck, I'm the one who repaired the bots outside.
Forget about him. The Brotherhood's tough, not a bunch of nerds. I'd be perfect.
Let it be, boys.
Fine by me. Can't say for certain. We got a suspicion, though.
A lot of the sightings and attacks have been from folks traveling the highway to Flatwoods. They come out of the hills, northwest of the old creamery.
And the only thing out that way is what's left of the Orwell orchards. Could be the source of the things. You gonna wipe them out when you find them? Not sure. More than a few, less than an army. From what folks have said, if you're going in alone, even a few can swarm you before you even realize what's happening. Be careful out there. Aren't you on a mission from the Brotherhood? You're doing it for them, not for us.
She's right, of course, but that doesn't mean we're not grateful for the risk you're taking. Now here, wherever you find ghouls, you're going to find radiation. Now, we can spare this.
Good to hear.
You'd be doing everybody in the area a favor, that's for sure.
Safe roads means safer traders. Good for everyone. The Brotherhood would definitely be making friends if you pull this off. Just try not to startle us if you drop by again. George has a hair trigger with that shotgun.
I really would like to join the Brotherhood. I know I'm not as strong as my brother, but you've got to have a need for somebody smart, right? Smarter than Marty, anyway. No offense to my brother, but if he can't solve a problem with his muscles, he's stumped. I read anything I can find. Most of the work and machinery around the farm is my handiwork. I'm the one who got the bots running. The Brotherhood can't be all brawn and no brains, right? Maybe I'm not, but I'm not cut out to be a farmer either. The Brotherhood has tech, and that's an opportunity to learn. That's all I want. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be nervous. Won't know until it happens, I suppose. But I'm willing to risk it if it means getting out of here. It is safe. So safe, I'll end up still running this place when I'm old. There's nothing wrong with farming, and I love my parents, but there's so much more out there. Maybe so, but Marty's right about one thing. The Brotherhood has the coolest tech. It'd be amazing to get to work with it and learn from them. I'm sure this farm isn't the place for me. The Brotherhood could change the world. It's where I belong. Can you make me a recruit? Okay. What do you need? Okay. I'll be here if you reconsider.
You gotta take me with you. I'm ready for this. I just know it. I'll be just like that Knight Shin who was here before. I'm strong, I'm fit, and I'm ready to fight. Whatever you need, I'll fight. Mutants, or ghouls, or raiders, or whatever. Heck yes. And Paladin Rahmani. So cool. Yeah, I asked them a bunch of questions and told them about wanting to leave the farm and everything, and they said I was remarkably keen. I think that means they liked me. Well, no. But I use a rifle sometimes to keep critters away from the crops. One night, I thought I saw a super mutant coming out of the woods, so I shot it. Dad came running because of the noise. It turned out it was just dark and I shot a bush, but I wasn't scared. Oh, Mom and Dad are fine here. The farm is their dream, not mine. Besides, the only thing I'm really good for around here is hauling things. I can't grow anything to save my life. I know Colin's got the brains, but even I know that's a bad thing for a farmer. I suppose. But where else would I get to wear that totally awesome armor and learn to be as cool as Knight Shin? Of course. Them showing up is the most exciting thing that's happened to me in, like, ever. I know I sound like a kid asking for a treat, but I mean it. I'll do whatever it takes. Can you really get me in? Oh, of course. I'm sure they'll listen to you. I'll be a big help. Just you wait. But are you sure you want to take me? I don't want to talk you out of anything, but I'm not your only choice. I mean, the best choice, obviously. But... Awesome! Yes! Yes! You are not gonna regret this, I promise. I will be the best recruit ever. I'll get my things and meet you at Orwell Orchards. Don't worry, you go on ahead. I will be there.
You take care of my boy. Understand?
You got more questions? Or is luring one of my boys off to danger enough? All right's a stretch. I ain't thrilled with it, but I said he could go, so that's that. But I find out you got him hurt, we gonna have words. And more. Just try not to startle us if you drop by again. George has a hair trigger with that shotgun.
I guess Marty was the obvious choice to join the military. He can be a little... much, but he's got a good heart. Just keep him safe, please, okay?
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Bennett Orwell, we of the West Virginia Lucky Hits Lottery Company are pleased to inform you of the result of our November lottery game, held on the 10th of this month. Your names are attached to Lucky Hits, Lotto Ticket 59, 28, 42, 88. We are overjoyed to tell you that this ticket was November's lucky lottery winner. It's the largest single-month game in Lucky Hits history. You are hereby approved to receive an immediate cash payment in the amount of $300,000. Mr. and Mrs. Orwell, congratulations! A local Lucky Hits prize representative will be arriving at your residence on November 30th, just a few short days away. To avoid any unnecessary mix-ups, please contact our headquarters as soon as possible to confirm your home address. Now, we advise that it's in your best interest to keep this news from the public's attention. We value all of our Lucky Hits customers, and we can't wait to hear from you. Once again, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Orwell, winners of West Virginia's largest ever lottery game.
All right, you're here. Sorry for rushing in first, but I just couldn't wait. Whew, this basement is crazy, right? This has got to be the place. So, how are we doing this? Sure do. Yeah, Dad gave me an old pistol he had. I used to plink cans with it. Pretty sure I can do the same to some nasty ghouls. Shortcuts. Yeah, you know your way around these woods. You can get lots of places. Plus, I ran. I was excited, okay? Not at all. I just figured ghouls are spooky and basements are spooky, so basements are where ghouls would be. Oh, is that not right? Do ghouls like attics? No way! I didn't come here to chicken out. I'll prove to you I can handle this. Just you wait. Right on! Yeah, let's go. I'm on your 6. That's what you say, right? Holy crap! Wow. Oh, okay. I'm alive. That was intense. Oh, for sure. More than ever. Watching you fight was amazing. If they can teach me to be half as cool as you, it'll be the best. Well, now that it's over, I won't lie, I was pretty freaked out. I might still be freaked out. My heart's racing, and I think I've got the shakes. Is it okay if I get some real training before we do anything like that again? Is it weird if I've never felt this alive? Yeah, I think I'm okay. I don't think I've got any permanent injuries. You got it, boss. I'm gonna make you proud, don't worry. You, Mom, and Dad. Maybe even Colin. I'll see you there. Now that it's safe, I'm just gonna take a breather. Oh, you go on. I'll be seeing you at Fort Atlas.
Welcome back. Have you completed your assigned mission, candidate? So, that's why the Putnam boy showed up here. He's very enthusiastic. Nothing a little training and discipline can't mold. Looks like you've expanded our ranks by more than just yourself. Assuming he doesn't wash out. I like that initiative, soldier. Good work. You've not only met the challenges our officer set you, but you have gone above and beyond by bringing a new brother into our order. I hereby confer on you the status of probationary initiate in the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm sorry, but we'll have to put the official initiation right on hold. Something's come up, and we need to deal with it right away. If you've got anything else you need to take care of, make it quick. Report to me again when you're ready.
This had better be important. If you're not sure what to do, then stay at your post and await orders. There's a lot going on around here right now. We haven't even unpacked, and there are people pressed up against our windows with petitions. I've got enough to deal with without having to babysit new recruits. As you can see, I'm in charge of the armory. I maintain and manage all of our equipment. I keep records of our stockpiles, distribute rations, and acquire resources as needed. Since we only have one paladin here, I also lead various combat operations and support Paladin Rahmani in any ways necessary. To be clear, my duties do not include human resources.
We're here to stay.
Does this look like a social club to you? I have my duties to attend to. I would hope that you have yours. It sounds to me like you haven't decided your purpose in this world. I have, and it doesn't involve making friends with everyone. Does this look like a social... I don't understand how that works, but I'll take your word for it. I've been with the Brotherhood for almost 20 years. I consider my life before that irrelevant. I think our mission is the only hope for humanity in the long term. And I think that any time I don't spend on that mission is irresponsible. There. Are you able to work now? Make it quick, please. To procure and preserve dangerous technologies from before the war, and defend humanity from itself. Since the world went to pieces, anyone and everyone has been using what they can find in the wasteland to their own ends, unrestricted. If things continue like this, humanity will never make it. The 1st Expeditionary Force was tasked with investigating several valued technological sites across the U.S., concluding at the Atlas Observatory. From here, we would report back on the fate of the preceding Appalachian chapter, carrying on the Brotherhood's mission in their stead if need be. Or we would have done that report if we still had a working long-distance transmitter. We have Raiders to thank for that one. That lines up with our discoveries so far. Truly an abominable threat, the Scorched. I will refrain from asking why you were snooping around a Brotherhood facility. I will warn you not to do it again.
Hopefully without unnecessary bloodshed.
That information is classified. There is, and my interpretation of our orders is that acquiring it should be our #1 priority. Paladin Rahmani thinks otherwise. She has reevaluated the situation based on her own judgment. I'm following her orders.
Shin's certainly winning us friends here.
Ask them if you must. When you sufficiently demonstrate your effectiveness as an initiate and your dedication to our mission, making yourself useful instead of pestering me about your official title would be a good start. Make it quick, please. Ad Victoriam.
Can you put in a good word for me with Paladin Rahmani? Oh, well, my name is Maximo. You can call me Max, though, for short. My big sister Marcia and I live here now with the Brotherhood. Isn't that cool?
The Raiders aren't putting up with the Brotherhood.
Well, the town we lived in got attacked by raiders and our mother was killed. But luckily, the Brotherhood of Steel was there and they saved us. Since we didn't really have anyone anymore, Paladin Rahmani had us come along with them. can't wait to become a member and fight off bad guys like they do. I'll make sure no one ever has to die again.
Please stop being so annoying.
They're heroes! The Brotherhood is gonna save humanity and help make the world a better place. They saved my sister and me and a bunch of other people along the way. Plus, the power armor they get to wear is so cool!
Do you need something?
Oh yeah! It's a lot of fun living in the Brotherhood of Steel base. I kinda wish there were more kids my age to play with, but it's okay. The less distractions from my training, the better. I'm gonna become the best Brotherhood of Steel member that Paladin Rahmani has ever seen. Whatever you want. It's fun talking with you. Sure, I'd be happy to talk about them. I mean, they're my heroes. She's the leader of the Brotherhood, and I'm gonna try my best to impress her so that she makes me an initiate one day. It was Paladin Rahmani's idea to let us stay here with them.
Great.
I'm so happy
Another
that she
tin
did.
can to deal with.
No way! I can't get the proper training I need to become a Brotherhood of Steel Knight there. I need the best combat training there is, and that's here. Speaking of, I wonder if Knight Shin is busy right now. Oh, absolutely! She cares a lot about saving people and stopping bad guys. She's a real-life hero. Okay. Knight Shin is super cool. Have you seen his power armor? He doesn't really talk to me much, but I think it's just because he's super busy doing Brotherhood stuff and fighting bad guys. Plus, he's usually hanging out by the weapons, and I'm not allowed to go near there. I think we're gonna be best friends one day, though. What? No! He's just busy. Saving the world is hard work. Someone in the Brotherhood can't be a jerk. They're literally the good guys. You think? I want to know all about the Brotherhood of Steel.
The Brotherhood
Okay.
of Steel aren't the heroes you think they are.
Odessa is the best. She's super smart and is always saying stuff that I don't really understand, but I'm gonna study really hard. And sometimes when the others aren't around, we play hide and seek around the fort. She told me I could because we're friends. Just like how you can call me Max instead of Maximo. Although, when I'm a knight, I would prefer if you called me Knight Max. Nah, I want to be a knight like Shin so I can wear power armor and use cool weapons. If I was to be a scribe, though, I would want to be just like Odessa. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Max wasn't around.
Stay safe out there.
I don't have anything to say to you or anyone else. I'm sure you wouldn't be too thrilled to talk to anyone if both your parents were dead and you were stuck with the people who caused it. I really don't want to talk about it. Just watch out. The Brotherhood can be reckless, and they justify it with some bullshit savior complex. Congratulations on not being naive like Max over here. Maybe there's hope for you yet. I would if I could, but Max refuses, and I can't just leave him behind. We're all that we've got left. Hopefully he'll come to his senses and stop his blind hero worship. If you want to talk about how great the Brotherhood of Steel is, talk to Max instead. You two can lick Shin's boots together. Let's not. You know what? I just might. Thanks. I appreciate that. I'll keep that in mind if I ever feel up to it.
Good. Hello, Initiate. Congratulations on officially joining our ranks. I apologize that we aren't able to do an official ceremony right now, but as previously stated, something more important has come up. I've been informed that there is an independent settlement that needs our help. A group of Blood Eagle raiders are extorting the villagers and taking their supplies. The village's leader, Jennie Brown, has more information. You can find her at their settlement, a camp made up of tree houses that they call the Retreat. Something better than helping those who can't help themselves? Where's your sense of compassion? Aiding civilians is part of the Brotherhood's mission here in Appalachia. We need to show them our goodwill. We aren't asking the settlement for anything in return. They're going to need their supplies, and our goal is to return them. We need the people of Appalachia to know that we're here to help. Earning favor with the people of this region will benefit us in the long run. That in itself is a reward. But if you happen to get any additional supplies that the Blood Eagles have procured, you can bring them back here. I appreciate your eagerness to help others, but please, call me Paladin Rahmani.
Hello there, stranger. What can I do for you? Oh, my. Well, I was hoping that this all could be solved without violence. But beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. My name is Jennie Brown, and I'm the mama hen of this little family here at the retreat.
Looks like it might rain
Lately, my kin have been harassed by a woman named Dagger and her Blood Eagle Raiders. She's causing all my people to go hungry and threatening our lives. You should take some time to talk with some of my people. I'm sure they have some useful information about Dagger that they can share with you, you know.
I won't let anyone mess with this village.
We're not just friends here, we're family. Everyone could use another person looking out for them. Great. Let me know if you need anything else, darling. Hey there, sunshine. How can I help you?
It's just about time to eat.
I'd be happy to talk about our lovely home. Well, since we're higher up, we've got good sight lines all around us and are able to protect ourselves pretty well from the local wildlife. These houses were already built, too, which made it quicker for us to get set up. Besides, it makes me feel like a kid again. We don't have anything against the settlers. In fact, we often trade with them. We just want to be on our own and don't want to get wrapped up in the drama between Foundation and Crater. We were nomadic before we came to Appalachia. It worked out well because traveling around meant finding more people to add to our family. We've grown quite a bit, though, so it only made sense to set down some roots.
I should make something sweet.
I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
It's just about time to eat.
Don't even get me started on that woman. She sent some of her Blood Eagles to pretend like they wanted to be part of our community around the time that we first got set up here. After we became established and got our own stockpile of supplies, those Blood Eagles disappeared and must have told her that we were now a worthy target. She showed up the next day with those sons of bitches demanding a cut of our supplies. Now we're a lot more careful about who we let in. So please forgive anyone who might be, you know, standoffish.
A rad toad couldn't jump all the way up here, right?
Even though we are peaceful people, we do live in this cruel world and are no strangers to having to defend ourselves. Unfortunately, we just aren't able to take on Dagger and all of her crew by ourselves. There's too many of them, and they are just too powerful for us. Food and medical supplies, primarily. Two of the most needed things in order to survive in this world, of course. We've been having to ration out our food so that everyone only gets one meal a day. That's not enough to live on, and People are starting to go hungry. Ask whatever you'd like. You want to know about me? Well, all right then. Shoot. I really didn't do it on purpose or anything. It just kind of happened. You know, darling, I think a lot of people these days are just looking for some human companionship and kindness. There's enough to worry about in this world we live in, but having a family helps you carry that burden. Well, I spent my days watching television and gossiping with my gal pals. Nothing too exciting, but boy, would I give anything to have one boring day again. I had a beautiful family with 2 precious grandbabies. I love them bunches and bunches, more than anything in this whole wide world. This family I've created will never replace them, but it helps with the loss a little bit.
Never thought I'd live in a treehouse. Never thought I'd find a real family. Never thought I'd live
Even though we were able to get by well enough traveling, we grew past the point where it wasn't sustainable anymore and we needed reliable trade. While going from place to place, we started to hear talks about people coming back to Appalachia, and it seemed as good of a place as any. Plus, I got some youngins talking about starting families. Bless their hearts. Kids need all the stability that they can get in this unstable world, so it makes sense to find a place we could call home.
Our houses have walls.
I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. No worries, hon. Don't be a stranger.
Hey there. Sorry, we're a bit wary of strangers right now. Miss Jennie heard about all the people in Appalachia and thought it would be a good spot for some consistent trading opportunities. We came across all these abandoned tree houses and it seemed like the perfect place to set up our little haven. It allows us to keep our independence while still making it easy to trade with the settlers. Mostly. I know she's got numbers, and she's smart. She's got people tracking our trade routes, and they've been harassing our caravans. It's making the settlers not want to trade with us for fear of losing their own people. I don't blame them either. Dagger's people are making it harder and harder for us to have supplies when she comes to collect. Honestly, I think she just wants an excuse to kill us off. I believe in you to give that dagger what she deserves.
Forgive any attitudes from us. We've got people going hungry here. You kidding me? It's gotta be the coolest digs you can get in the apocalypse. I'm proud to call this place my home, and these people my family. I was surrounded by a group of vicious mole rats when some members of Miss Jennie's family found me. They saved me. I figured I could use some more protection from all the nastiness in this world. Now, we just need to deal with Dagger. I run the storehouse here and have to deal with her lieutenants that come to collect every week. They have some sort of fancy rocket launchers that would blow this place to smithereens if given the opportunity. Her and those Blood Eagle Raiders are definitely too tough for us to handle on our own. Something's gotta be done about her. And I hope you're the one to do it. You go get that dagger, and bring me back my Instamash. Please.
Real nice view.
Don't cause any trouble around here. I will be able to find you. Being high up in these trees makes me feel safe. Plus, everyone looks out for each other here. We do what we can to make the best of it. If you can just help get rid of Dagger, we can go back to living in peace. My partner and I were holed up in a building when we heard some people come inside and start looking through the place. We were worried that we'd have to fight, but instead Miss Jennie welcomed us into her group with open arms and offered us a place in the family. I went out hunting shortly after one of her weekly collections and tracked her lieutenants to see where her hideout is. I lost their trail and wasn't able to get the exact location, but I do know that they're somewhere to the southwest. If you find her, kill her. Her and her damn Blood Eagles are taking our food, water, stim packs, everything. All in exchange for allowing us to keep our lives. Please, help us give that dagger what she deserves.
I hope you enjoyed getting to know us. We're peaceful people. We don't want to bother or be bothered. So, will you help us? Other than she's insane and a menace, she has this loyal group of lieutenants that are willing to protect her with their lives. I'm telling you, if they didn't follow her everywhere she went, I'd have already tried to put her 6 feet under. I'm glad you're able to see how special my people are. Family is the most important thing that you can have, especially in the wasteland. I will do anything that I can to protect mine. Well, I'm not one for telling people what to do, but I'll take the help regardless. Be careful. Underestimating Tagger may prove to be dangerous.
Well. I see the Brotherhood has finally sent one of their pawns to retrieve my weapons. Because you've impressed me by taking out my crew, I'll allow you to say a few last words. Choose them carefully, kid.
Dagger's throne is untouched.
Oh, shit. You mean you didn't know about the weapons? The crate they came in may have had a Brotherhood of Steel insignia on them. But they're ours villagers. Now. Don't even think about walking into my place and making demands either. I won't let you take these weapons from us.
Nothing in this wasteland can bring down Dagger's crew.
My gang and I came across a small group of raiders and... oh, I couldn't help but notice these beauties sitting around. Let's just say negotiations didn't go over well. And now we're the owners.
Nothing in this wasteland.
Who knows how that group got them from the Brotherhood? And really, who cares? Oh, I'm not making demands. I'm providing a service. They give me their supplies, and I let them keep their lives. Where there's prey, there will always be a predator. If it wasn't me, I'm sure there would be someone else ready to take advantage of them.
Stupid villagers.
Like I said, these weapons don't belong to the Brotherhood anymore. I don't have any of their property. And you can tell those villagers they'll be punished for crying to the Brotherhood of Steel.
Imagine living in a kid's treehouse.
Well, shit. If there's one thing I value more than my goods, it's my life. Here's the key to some of our stash. Make sure you tell your people to stay out of my business from now on. You gonna stop staring and start talking? I'd be careful what you ask, kid.
I'm not one for giving up all my deep, dark secrets. I'm not one to follow someone else's orders. I'd rather be queen of my own castle. They draw too much attention to themselves anyway. And I don't need to be dealing with those pansy settlers. I'm tough, and not afraid to get shit done. So, people just started following me and my orders. It wasn't my intention. It just happened, naturally. I'm not too worried about replacing bodies either. More raiders will come and want to join. Hell, if you're ever looking to leave the Brotherhood of Steel, I'd consider letting you join my crew.
Stupid villagers.
You think I'm just gonna tell some stranger about myself and my past? You'd have to get a lot of chems in me to get any of that out of me.
In this wasteland
The only thing you need to know is not to mess with me. Gladly. Oh, them? How boring. I thought we were past that. Well, go ahead then, I guess. Easy. They're weak. They can't properly defend themselves, and they've got plenty of supplies. Also, they seem like a freaky cult, right? It's not just me. Guess you'll just have to take my word for it, won't you? Honestly, if the Brotherhood is protecting them now, then it's not worth the trouble. There's plenty of other people I can take supplies from.
Villagers.
From what a little eagle told me, that woman is sickeningly sweet. I don't trust anyone that nice. If those villagers were smart, they'd watch out for her. Hopefully something less boring. Oh, I'm sure you have lots of super important Brotherhood of Steel things to do.
Nothing in this wasteland can bring down Dagger's crew.
Have you had a chance to pay Dagger a friendly visit? Oh my! This is quite a weapon. I can't wait to try this bad boy out. Thank you so much for your help. I hope the Brotherhood won't mind us having this.
I have news from our patrol.
They must have seen something quite interesting for you to come to me about it.
Interesting is not the word. Concerning, yes.
One moment, Initiate. Knight Shin is in the middle of his report. Go on, Shin.
As I was saying, one of our patrols came across a raider storeroom. They were chased out, but not before sighting several crates with the Brotherhood insignia on them.
Those crates are for important assets. We haven't used them since...
Since that battle, let's not waste time with details. Considering the contents, it's imperative that we recover those crates from the raiders.
We have yet to establish a relationship with the people of Crater. It's possible that they are more agreeable than the other raiders we've encountered.
Are you seriously considering the idea of leaving those items in raider hands?
Let's discuss this later. We've kept the Initiate waiting long enough. Were you able to help the people of the retreat? Excellent work, Initiate. You represented the Brotherhood of Steel admirably.
Do you care to explain how you managed to persuade a den of rabid blood eagles?
The Initiate has not done anything to deserve your suspicion, Knight. A resolution without bloodshed is an ideal one. Is there anything else to report?
You should get that mutation
Initiate,
treated as an example.
I've been around long enough to spot an obvious lie when I hear one.
This is no time for games. Give your report seriously.
Recruits, Night Shin's training, weapons, and a base
The
like
Blood
this.
Eagles, too. Did these crates have our insignia on them?
If our weapons have spread among multiple groups, that's a serious problem. One that the Initiate has exacerbated with their ill-advised handout.
I support the Initiate's decision. The villagers will not use that weapon with ill intent.
One weapon isn't likely to cause a crisis, but the Raiders have an entire cache. We can't just leave them as is.
Protect the people. They'll learn that in time.
We obtained them during our journey to Appalachia. Unexpected circumstances remove them from our possession.
If anything tries to attack...
That's all the Initiate needs to know.
I am the one answering questions here, Knight. The Brotherhood saved Shin's hometown from a raider attack. It was then that Knight Connors recruited him into the fold. There have been other incidents since then, but...
This is irrelevant to the mission.
Perhaps you can ask him about it another time.
I'd prefer that you didn't.
Good work, Initiate. You're dismissed. Do you have any questions about your duties? Certainly. Tell me which one you'd like to discuss. George Putnam came by with a basket of homegrown potatoes as a token of his family's appreciation. He got a bit teary-eyed seeing his son working so hard. He should be proud. Marty is one of our most enthusiastic new recruits. There have been no more threats from Blood Eagles. And, despite Shin's objection, the villagers have been able to use the weapon you provided to fend off a number of attacks from nearby creatures. That kind of resourcefulness is exactly what I'd like to see in a united wasteland. If we continue to trust and work together with the people of Appalachia, we are sure to create a safer home for everyone. Your service to the Brotherhood so far is appreciated, Initiate. I'd like to see more of it.
You're here. Good. To review the current situation, one of our patrols located a cache of dangerous weapons in a raider storeroom. Stolen Brotherhood weapons, no less. Your assignment is to secure the storeroom for the Brotherhood, and the weapons along with it. I'll put together a squad and meet you there. But given the situation, it's imperative you arrive there as soon as possible. Any questions, Initiate? I should put negligence on your record for asking that question. Lucky for you, I don't have the time. If you can recall your last assignment. It had to do with putting down a rabid den of Blood Eagles in possession of military-grade rocket launchers. The same kind of rocket launchers were discovered in the possession of some raiders from Crater. Needless to say, that's a problem, and we are going to fix it. Care. Are you insinuating this is a personal matter? I am carrying out the Brotherhood's mission. The reason our logo is on those weapons is because we swore to keep them out of civilian hands. Now it's time to fix our mistake.
This is my place. My mission.
Paladin Rahmani forbids engagement without warning. So, we will attempt to speak to them when we arrive. That being said, the Raiders have already made it clear they're determined to be our enemies. Stealing supplies, ambushing patrols, using Brotherhood weapons to terrorize the region. If they are unwilling to cooperate, we will put our foot down. So be prepared for combat. I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to. They're a menace to Appalachia. But if you have some way of negotiating with them, that's on you. I'm sure Paladin Rahmani would appreciate a non-violent solution. One last thing. We need to confirm the weapon's source. I find it unlikely the Raiders will be willing to talk until after we send them a very clear message. If any of them are still alive after that, we can question them. But priority one is securing the weapons they already have. That will be all. Dismissed.
Looks like we have a visitor.
Did the Brotherhood send you? I gotta say, You're doing a good job representing them. Dressed up in all that clunky armor. It's wrong of me to judge by appearances, though. Why don't you introduce yourself? Just taking a nice stroll around the Toxic Valley. Stumbled upon a mysterious door, yeah? I can respect an adventurous spirit. What I can't respect is the full entourage of Brotherhood soldiers who just showed up behind you.
This vault and all material goods within are hereby under possession of the Brotherhood of Steel. This requisition will aid us in the preservation of technology and the protection of mankind. Your compliance will ensure your safety.
You know, I'm interested in hearing more about this protection of mankind business. I suppose killing a few no-good raiders is an easy price to pay for the benefit this measly little vault will provide for us as a species. Is that it?
I repeat, your compliance will ensure your safety. Not that I'd expect a simple-minded brute to understand.
Resorting to name-calling already. I have to say, I'm disappointed. Thought I'd be able to speak to someone civilized from a big-shot organization like yours. What about you, Forward Scout? Think we can work this one out? Or are your underpants in as tight of a bunch as Mr. Compliance over there? You do have a point. This place doesn't offer us any strategic leverage over the Brotherhood. If anything, you're gonna waste more resources protecting a place so far away from your home base. So then, it must be the weapons that are important to you. What's so special about these rocket launchers that a top-ranking member would come to collect them himself?
I don't know how you became aware of our internal hierarchy, but it's irrelevant to the situation. You will leave the weapons in the vault and disperse. Now.
And how about you? Do you seriously take orders from this constipated suit of metal? Finally, some honesty.
The Initiate doesn't know what they're talking about.
You don't give your subordinates enough credit. In any case, I got the answer I wanted. We're heading back to Crater. This stash isn't worth it.
Not so fast. Tell us where you got those weapons from.
Ooh, sorry. I don't discuss Raider affairs on Brotherhood territory. If you really want to know, you can come talk to me in Crater. Don't worry. If it's only one of you, we don't usually kill on sight. Now let us through.
We completed the first part of our mission. I can't say I agree with your methods. Talking things through gives the impression of a compromise. The Brotherhood doesn't compromise. We determine what needs to be done, and we do it. You did do the second part right, so I'll leave it at that. Moving forward, we still need to track down the weapon source. That man appeared to know something. I don't care how you get it out of him, but make sure you get it. I thought the Raiders were bad enough before that vile cretin opened his mouth. And we just let him... This is off topic, Initiate. Don't ask me a question like that again. We'll set up some Protectrons to guard it, and transfer the weapons back to Fort Atlas. After that, it can be used as an intermediate storehouse for anything our patrols find in the northern part of Appalachia. Yes, it's dangerous, but not as dangerous as it would be to leave this thread hanging. Our duty as the Brotherhood is to preserve the future of mankind, to be relentless in our removal of threats, present and future. I wouldn't send you on this mission if I didn't think you were capable of coming back alive. This is your top priority. The longer we let these weapons spread, the more difficult it will be to track down all of them. What are you still doing here, Initiate? I'm staying back to take stock of the area.
Can't believe they had the nerve to just barge in like that. That Knight acts like some kind of righteous savior.
I told you. And they're only gonna get more confident.
I won't let them. Do we have their patrol routes yet? A couple ambushes ought to take them down a notch.
We'll have to discuss this later. We've got a visitor. Screw off.
So, you really came? Huh. To be honest, I didn't expect the Brotherhood to show its face around here with anything less than a fully armored battalion. Life is just full of surprises, isn't it? So, what can I do for you, oh honorable emissary of steel? Oh, right! The weapons! After they got forcibly confiscated from us, I almost forgot about them. See, the thing is, you and your metal buddies put me in a pretty tight spot back there. There are people here in Crater depending on me. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it back to them. So I prioritized a little bit. Getting home to those people was more important than being completely sincere to a group of heavily armed tyrants. So if you're looking for help with your little weapon problem, you can look somewhere else.
Don't you think you're being stubborn, Pierce? We have a good little Brotherhood peon here at our disposal. We can make use of that.
We've been over this. There's no compromising with people like the Brotherhood. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
We don't know that yet for sure. Besides, everyone has their own motivations. Our visitor might have one worth talking about.
I won't rely on a betrayal to take them down. You should know that. I have nothing left to discuss. I've given you my answer, Initiate. Now for your sake, I'd suggest you don't stick around.
Hey, you. Don't leave yet. I've got something to say. Don't mind Pierce, he's stubborn. Holds too tightly to his morals. I'll tell you about the weapons, but you're gonna need to give me something in return. Interested? With that attitude, I'm surprised you're working with them in the first place. But that's your business. I want intel on the Brotherhood. Records, roster, correspondence. You've got people specialized in keeping track of that sort of thing, right? Transfer their data onto this holotape and bring it back to me. Then I'll tell you what you want to know. This isn't a betrayal. It's just good business sense. How do you know about our war room? About that vault where you ambushed Pierce? We have eyes the same way you do. Remember it. We're not on friendly terms with the Brotherhood. What do you think we're gonna do with it? Don't worry. If the Brotherhood is as powerful as they are confident, then it shouldn't make any difference, right? Toodles. You've got the holotape? Because you want to know where we got those Brotherhood logo rocket launchers from. And working with me is the only way you're gonna find out. Load the holotape I gave you into a terminal that has Brotherhood info on it. Download the files, bring it back. I'll be here.
Yeah? Guard places, lift things, kill people. It's what I do. They're my friends.
Seriously? How hard is it to just stick with the plan?
Pierce is kind. I owe him everything. If you hurt him, you'll pay. She's scary sometimes, but she does it for us. I would do the same. No, I don't get along well with people.
Living in Appalachia is like a real-life game of Clash
Sure.
Royale.
They threaten my friends, so I'll take them down. Yeah, I'm not very good at talking. You don't have to talk to me if it bothers you. Okay.
Pretty brave of you to go freely touring the crater like this. We're here to ensure that there remains a place for Crater in Appalachia. The more people come here, the more they'll want to take their own space, set their own rules, and then force those rules on others. Crater is our home, our freedom, our future. I won't allow anyone to take that away. Besides the obvious scorched and mutant life, Foundation, maybe. But it'll be a long time before they start asking for more. They're like us, in some ways. Just looking for a home. But don't tell Meg I said that. The Brotherhood thinks of itself as our saviors. They'll take what they believe is righteous. And when we refuse to give it, they'll strike us down. It starts small. Food and supplies, a home base. They offer protection in return. And hope. Hope is powerful enough to make you blind. So when they start asking for more, when they start setting rules, occupying homes, taking lives, then it's too late. We can't let it get that far. That they are. But that's why we're here. The brother, it starts, so when they start. Order or tyranny, I'm not interested in either. The brother, it starts, so when they start. I'm responding to a threat. You can ignore the threat all you want, but that doesn't make it go away. The brother, it starts, so when they. Brainwashed already, huh? That's a shame. I was hoping you had a little more sense than the rest of them. The brother, it starts, so when they. Then sit back and watch. See what it gets you when things suddenly go up in flames. At least I'll have my fire suit on. Too political for you? Don't worry. In the end, it just amounts to fighting. Run? Look, I'm not some kind of CEO or general. This is a family. Everyone does their part. Mine is the talking. Letting people know what we're doing all this for. How important it is. I may have started this effort, but it's the war party who moves it forward. And if you're not a part of it, I'd caution you to stay out of its way. Only good things. What do you want to know? She's more than a rung in a hierarchy. Sheena plans our operations. She's got a head for strategy. Said she used to play Blast Radius on repeat as a kid, until she could beat everyone she knew, including the adults. Imagine that. World's gone to shit and people still find solace in games. At that age, I was, well, still in school, studying for a future that never came to be. Burke's our muscle. The most hard-working person we've got. They don't talk much. Action is more their language. I wouldn't have it any other way. Because it suits them better. When I first met Burke, they were different. Secluded. Like they didn't want anyone to see them. Burke flinched when others talked about them. People expected things based on how they looked. They had these titles. Silent Man, albino dog. One day I asked if something else would feel better. It took some trial and error, but we eventually settled on the neutral they. They're a much happier person now, for the insignificant price of a word. You know something? I don't either. Not fully, anyways. We all have a public perception in this world. Sometimes it doesn't match what we feel inside. Sometimes there's nothing we can do about that, but other times there is. And I don't need to understand everything Burke is feeling to want to see a smile on her face. Meg has enough on her plate without the Brotherhood to deal with. I came to her one day with an army of raiders, raring to fight. She looked at me and said, "What are you waiting for? This ain't no democracy. Just don't get Crater in trouble and we're good. So, here we are. The war party. We have plenty of support. Not everyone wants to be directly involved, but those who do are ready to risk life and limb. There's also your fair share of mercenary Craterites just looking for caps. But considering the Brotherhood could probably pay better, I suspect those mercs have an ounce of loyalty they're not willing to admit to. Why not get to know them yourself? I'm sure you'll find there's more than meets the eye. There's no blood spilled in the war room. This is where we plan our battles, not enact them. The Brotherhood should know that we're not a bunch of mindless killers. So if they want to send someone here to talk, they can. Not that anything will come of it. I'll be here until the Brotherhood isn't.
Always good to see a friendly face. Welcome back. Maybe? Sorry, I'm usually better with the protocol, but it just seems weird to use titles, initiate to initiate. I've been keeping watch out here for a long time. People coming and going, since before the Brotherhood arrived. It helped to stay friendly with people. Made it easier. Nothing so far. Between the old observatory itself, the fortifications, and all these recruits, we're pretty secure. Given everything the world's been through, we're doing pretty well here. Found them here when I came out. Pretty hot. They've got a maintenance back. Pretty good, right? Sure. I'll answer. Well, the ones from California take this very seriously. Not that I don't, but it's been their life. Literally, for Scribe Valdez. Be honest and respectful, and you should be all right. Oh, maybe don't correct them if they mispronounce Appalachia. It's been done. No problem. Hit me. Don't be a stranger.
What can I do for you? Yeah, I've heard, but no, I haven't dealt with them yet. Probably just a matter of time now. Hard for someone to show up in our neck of the woods and not bump shoulders eventually. As a whole, hard to say. I've heard rumors about how the West Virginia branch behaved. I'm all for helping those in need, but the idea of involuntary assistance doesn't exactly thrill me. I guess I'll need to deal more with this new group before I form a solid opinion.
Oh, sorry. Need to fix the ventilators. What'd you need? Atlas Observatory, huh? Interesting. Hadn't considered that. You must know something I don't. That doesn't change my plans, though. Supporting the Brotherhood with daily ops is still of the utmost importance. A deserter like me doesn't deserve to just stroll up and pretend all is forgiven. I'll face my redemption in exile. Ah, you lousy piece of... I oughta... You're right. I'm just... running away, aren't I? I'll head out there real soon. Face this head on. Thanks for making me see that. You're still a real piece of work, though. Just got a few hundred doodads to pack up here. I'll see you at Fort Atlas real soon.
Thoughts? What I got for them are bullets. Luckily, I got some folks who are real passionate about taking those bucketheads down. You want to know more? You talk to Pierce over in the war room. It's behind Irie's shop. Just don't get in the way. You'll regret it. Oh yeah? And why should I care?
Yeah, he is. You know, I wasn't sure at first if I should trust him with the responsibility of that fight. But the boy's got a silver tongue. Next time I looked, he already had people rallying. And I ain't one to stop my people from following what they believe in. Oh yeah? And who are you to say anything about it? The Brotherhood may be organized, but we've got passion. We ain't ever given up. And I don't want to hear any chicken-shitted criticism from you ever again. Oh yeah? Don't you and your overall-wearing buddies get too comfortable. Just because the Brotherhood poses a bigger threat at the moment, don't mean we're fine with you settling on our land. We'll come for you next. Catch you later, 7-6.
Paladin Rahmani really knows how to take charge. They could have used more like her in the Appalachian chapter. She could have made a difference. These recruits really brings me back. That spark of hope in their eyes. Maybe we can do it right this time. Thanks again for convincing me to head over here. Fort Atlas is really starting to shape up. I'm glad I'm able to pitch in. Knight Shin was looking at me again, wasn't he? You tell him I already took a bath a few days ago. That kid needs to get off my back. There's more important things than cleanliness right now.
Let's talk. Maybe we'll both learn something. Raiders, huh? If they're anything like the raiders we've encountered on the expedition route, then... my guess is the situation isn't pretty. All right. How can I help?
Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day. Look what else.
I think I understand. The funny thing about data is you don't know what's real or not. Not unless you gathered it yourself. To be honest, I was working on encrypting my terminal for this kind of situation. So, if anyone accessed it who wasn't supposed to, they would just get false info and none would be the wiser. I didn't finish, but you can still use the fake data I created. Should be clearly labeled in the files. Just, don't select the wrong one. This is the raiders we're talking about. It'd be bad news if they got an advantage on us. Worse, if the Knight found out it was because of me. It's not likely to happen anytime soon, but an enemy could use our names, skills, and history to trick other members or develop a targeted strategy. I may also begin storing schematics and stockpile records on there. Right now, the Knight is doing it all by hand. Well, for now, I just hope we don't make too many enemies. I don't expect much from the raiders, but maybe they're smarter than they give off. Well, you know, just trying to help where I can. Rusty nails and live wires are fun and all, but sometimes it's also nice to write code without having to get my hands dirty. Not a problem. I'm here to help. A weapon may keep me safe, but it doesn't make these repairs go.
We have to cut ourselves free from America to rebuild America. Take the old and forge it anew.
One day I'll make that. Then I'll show those raiders who's the boss.
I want to visit Fort Defiance, but...
If anything tries to attack, we'll be ready.
We have to...
I wonder what stories are hiding in the mountains out here.
The Elders have so much to teach us.
How can I find time to study our history?
I'll show those raiders who's boss.
Stay on your toes. The wasteland is merciless. Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day.
This may hold the most promise. I made it, Scribe Takano. I wish you were here too.
Do you have any questions about your duties? Indeed. I have to thank you for sending him our way. I had always hoped a survivor from the original crew held out. It's quite the honor to meet him. He wasn't exactly high-ranking, but he's already offered valuable insight into how the West Virginia chapter survived here as long as they did. It wouldn't be appropriate to involve him in current affairs, but supporting his daily operations will be of great use to us.
I see you returned from Crater. Standing by for your report. You'll get the honor of remaining in service of the Brotherhood. If you don't understand the value in that, then I question your commitment to our order. Then hurry up and get it ready. And don't tell me you haven't even been to Crater yet.
You've got the holotape? Because you want to know where we got those Brotherhood logo rocket launchers from. And working with me is the only way you're gonna find out. Good. Thanks. The weapons don't have one source. Some of them we looted off a group of unfortunate settlers. We've also traded them among ourselves. Some old friends visited Crater a while back wielding that firepower, claiming they earned it in a fight. They were bragging about it till the day they left. Said they sent some big armored folks running. I can't confirm that the losers were Brotherhood, but that was your logo on the side of those weapons, wasn't it? Doesn't matter to me. Now, I told you what I know. With any luck, we won't talk again. Yep. They may or may not have more, but they've definitely come in contact with them. West. They said they passed through Ohio before coming here. I don't know how much further out they went. They wouldn't shut up about it, so I learned to tune it out pretty quick. But I do remember them passing around a helmet with a bullet hole through its visor. A trophy from the Fallen. Don't change your mind. This was a one-time offer, and it's one that neither of us will speak of again. Is there a problem? Ugh, what don't I do around here? Pierce has a way with words, but if he was in charge of our combat operations, we'd all be dead. Everyone else is too busy writing war cries or painting skulls on their armor to make a plan. I don't mind it, though. Doing things myself means that other people can't mess it up. This a logistics question, or are you asking me to gossip? We've been friends ever since he came to Crater. All you need to know about Pierce is that he's gonna keep Crater safe. Full stop. Why wouldn't I? Burke is one of us. Look, I don't like talking about other people. If you have a question for Burke, then you can ask them yourself.
They're always tromping around.
All right.
Must be all cramped and sweaty.
It's not a hate thing. It's about survival. So, you're not beating around the bush then? I won't either. You're not getting Crater. Ever. It's not... Are you shitting me? Anyone who doesn't bend the knee to the Brotherhood automatically becomes an enemy. And I'm not gonna obediently wait around to be branded and culled. It's not a... I don't give two craps about humanity. As a species, we've done nothing but abuse and betray each other. And beyond that, look at what we've done to this Earth. So I look out for me and my own. The rest don't matter. Oh, so you noticed. Let me just adjust my attitude for you real quick. There we go. Fuck off.
Are you ready to give your report? That's not what I was hoping to hear. All right. Tell me about the sources. I see. And are those raiders still at Crater? As a matter of fact, it does. If they were still here, then we'd have business with them. But they're not. So we need to focus on Appalachia. I'd like to pursue them as much as you would, Initiate. But those were not our orders from Elder Maxson. We have duties in Appalachia. Ones that we've delayed for long enough as it is. Without more information, it's impossible to say. We fought plenty of raider groups across the entire expedition route. And the other one. Foundation 2. This is bad. Worse than I thought. At this rate, all of Appalachia will be toting these rocket launchers. All because of... Forgive me, Initiate. I lost my composure. We need to follow up with Foundation as soon as possible. You don't have clearance for that information, Initiate. Proceed with your report. Peaceful or not, civilians should not have access to that kind of technology. It's too easy for things to go wrong. Take the Great War as an example. That catastrophe is the inspiration for our mission today. So that's everything. That was a thorough report. The Brotherhood appreciates your diligence looking into this matter. Our next step is to deal with Foundation. Paladin Rahmani already had plans to establish contact, so she'll want to hear about this. No need to expound everything. I'll follow up later with a more detailed report. A knight's helmet? It must be. 2 other knights embarked with us from the west coast. Knight Thornberry returned partway through the journey. Knight Connors gave his life in honorable service to the Brotherhood. Show the proper respect when asking about him. To think they held onto his helmet like a trophy. It's unforgivable. That's classified information, Initiate. Not every operation runs perfectly. All you need to know is that we're fixing it. Ad Victorium. Ad Victorium.
Ah, Initiate. I haven't had the chance to discuss your last assignment with Knight Shin yet. Was there something you needed to report to me directly? This isn't the time for jokes, Initiate. This is very troubling news. How well do you know the people of Foundation?
Throwing nukes left and right. The people of
Excellent. That's great news. I spoke with a few members of their community, looking for ways to work together. We're in need of food and water. They have plenty to spare. However, knowing they may have those weapons, accelerates matters. It's critical that we follow up with them right away.
Someone returned their gun to the wrong place again.
Your mission is as follows. Meet with Gloria Chance, the supervisor of Foundation Supply Room. Determine whether or not they've seen or acquired such weapons for themselves. And lastly, establish a trade deal with Foundation. Something that will provide us longevity in Appalachia. You're gonna have to make some tough decisions, but I trust that you know Foundation well enough to make the right calls. And allow me to stress, both returning with the weapons and securing a trade deal are equally important objectives, Initiate.
That is what keeps this order together.
If you say so. Remember, you represent the Brotherhood to these people. Do us proud. You have your orders. Is there something else you need from me?
If I don't sleep tonight, I should be able to get this list.
Of course. I'm not suggesting that we aren't capable of securing our own survival here, Initiate. We trek the width of the country, you know. But we also can't pretend that we're alone in Appalachia. And furthermore, we're far from the first to inhabit these hills. If we can find a way to lessen the burden on our own people, and form a strong relationship with like-minded folk, should we not follow through? While I understand where you're coming from, these weapons in particular have proven to be exceptionally dangerous. In untrained hands, misuse can prove fatal. In deviant hands, proper use can result in a great loss of innocent life. And even with all that aside, they have been tagged with the Brotherhood crest. Whether we intended it or not, these weapons represent us. If we aren't able to get the weapons back in our possession, they could end up causing irreparable damage to our standing in the region. Remember, you represent the Brotherhood to these people. Do us proud.
Have a question. The past has the answers, but I'm not a bad backup. Yes. He's quite the interesting guy. He really familiarized himself with the proprietary tech that the West Virginia chapter developed. He's been an excellent source for archiving their research. I'm glad we could give him a safe place to stay after all that he's been through.
Fort Atlas is in good hands. Knight Shin's trained us well.
I'll be here if you need anything.
You're back. I assume Paladin Rahmani has tasked you with handling the situation. Why are you dragging your feet? Move out! I see. This isn't surprising, but it's not the choice that I would have made. I will have a word with Paladin Rahmani while you're out. But remember, respect the chain of command. If Paladin Rahmani has tasked you with this, carry it out, regardless of what you or I may think of it. I'm expecting positive... You're back. I assume... I see. This isn't surprise, but remember... Do not test my patience, Initiate. This is our way. Chain of command supersedes how we feel. However, I will put this as plainly as I can. I feel we'd grow stronger from continuing to rely on ourselves, rather than focus on trade deals. Recovering the weapons, however, is more than a task. It is your duty as a member of the Brotherhood of Steel. That's all I have to say on the matter. You have your assignment. Carry it out.
Hey, good to see ya. Oh, it's incredible. I don't know what half the stuff does around here, and Scribe Valdez says I'm not allowed to touch anything, but it's so cool. Oh yeah, no, Knight Shin's got me doing chores, mainly. He says I need to develop discipline before I'm ready for anything else. And push-ups. So many push-ups. I mean, sure, I guess. My family, more than the farm. But really, I'm too excited to be here most of the time to think about it. If you see them, though, let them know I'm okay. Ad Victoriam! That's what we're supposed to say, right?
You must be here about that shipment of Blamco mac and cheese. Great. I was starting to get worried. 2,000 and what? For a dozen...
You really think someone rolling up in power armor like that is here about mac and cheese? They're pulling your leg, hon.
Well, that's not very nice. Why are you really here? You say you're with Paladin Rahmani? That's fantastic. I didn't think she'd get back to us so quickly. How can I help you, Sire, Your Majesty, Your Steeliness? Weapons? Well, sure. We have all sorts for defending Foundation. Oh, maybe you mean... Hun, can you tell our friend here about those thingies we picked up recently?
Oh, sure thing. We got weapons all right, Initiate. You Brotherhood guys make some high-quality gear. And tell me if this sounds familiar. Tubes of explosive death with your logo on the side? Oh, sure. Or, no, actually. Some guys from the town watch took them out for testing a little earlier. I'm sure you can catch up with them. They normally practice at a small site they set up near the East Mountain Lookout, a bit north of here.
Oh, that's right. Mike and them took the weapons out for a test drive. If you head over, I'm sure they'd let you take a look. I hope you understand those weapons are our property, though. We spent quite a bit acquiring them. But hurry back. I'm sure we can still find a way to work together, even if we don't need more weapons. Okay, shoot. Well, this is the supply room for all things coming and going from Foundation. If it ends up in one of the Sonny's shops, it goes through here first. Okay, if you don't think it can wait.
Well, I'm the one who spent all our caps on them, so the least I can do is be the one answering questions about them. I know a guy who knows a guy. I don't know the guy he knows, though. My guy buys this and that from caravans and traders. He drops by here when he finds something interesting. He didn't mention where he got these from, just said he thinks he got a good deal on them. So he gave me a slightly less good deal. Good? I mean, they're weapons, right? Shouldn't weapons be dangerous? I'm not about to sign up for guard duty. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but...
Yeah.
Oh, hush you. Like I was saying, I'm no guard, but I would want to be equipped with the deadliest of weapons if I was. Follow me? Can anyone live peacefully these days? Raiders, mutants, giant sonic booms, screaming bats? You telling me you didn't bump into something nasty on your walk over here? Come on now. Except they do, though. We bought them. I've got receipts if you want to see them. They're handwritten, but we keep everything on the books here.
If they belonged to your crew originally, well, that's tough luck for sure. And I feel for you guys, I do. But look around us. What's not secondhand property anymore? Everything used to belong to somebody, right? Really, though, once you get things settled, over by the lookout tower, I'm sure we can work something out.
Okay, then.
And send the fellas home, would ya? They've been playing with those things long enough.
Hurry back now, your steeliness.
All right, everyone gather round. Ward wanted us to record some instructions on how to use these things. Where's Mike? Hey, Mike, stop messing around that terminal and grab one of those rocket launchers.
Uh-oh. Sorry. I wanted to lock the terminal first. Let me put this in my bag really quick.
Give it up, Mike. That could be decades old. Just grab one of them and come here. Wait, Mike, I told you not to pick it up like that.
Oh, God. What have I done?
Hold it right there. Don't come any closer. I'm sorry! Don't hurt me! Mike Tiller. Go to Foundation. Tell him you found me dead. Because I'm never leaving. I'm not going back. You can't make me. They'll never believe me. They'll think I'm a murderer. There's nothing to say. Just go and leave me. This door is barred tight, and way behind me is flooded. You can't get in. Just give up. And go tell Gloria I'm dead. There's nothing to say. Just go and leave me. Oh God. You made it! How did you even... Please, don't hurt me. Okay, I can explain. We were just testing these out. You know, Tad picked them up a while back. They seemed really powerful. They were always telling me, be careful, Mike. Don't pick it up that way, Mike. But my finger slipped and I killed them all instantly. But it was an accident. I swear. I never... Oh, God. I mean, sure, but that doesn't change what I did. How can I face them after No, you're right. They should hear it from me. I'll go back. On one condition. Let me bring the weapons back myself. Gloria and Tad will know what to do. I'm sorry. They're the only ones I trust to take care of these. I have to make sure they get back to them. Thank you. I think this is my only option. I'll pack up and meet you at Foundation. Thanks for knocking some sense into me. I'll meet you back at Foundation. I'm sorry I didn't come back right away. I was scared. But that Brotherhood member showed up and...
Well, speak of the devil.
Mike was just telling us about what happened out there. I can't believe it. All those boys, just... It's a lot to take in.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Dangerous or not, doesn't make a lick of difference. These weapons are ours.
Tad, enough! We still need to find a way to work with these people. I think we should try and wrap up business between us now. We're going to need to tell those families about what happened. I know it's hard to think about at a time like this, but settling on a deal and having you on your way is probably for the best. Now then, I understand you'll want to take these weapons back with you, but that won't work for us. They cost us too many caps to just let go. Unfortunately, regardless of where they came from before, they're our property now, and they'll need to stay with us.
Well, that's true, but... maybe you're right.
Not maybe. You are right. You need to get these things out of here before anyone else is killed. Only problem is, those weapons put us in the hole, financially speaking. We need to sell off our supplies to recover, and that leaves nothing left to share with the Brotherhood. Okay? But now what?
Whoa, for real? Damn.
We can make that work. Okay then. It's a deal. Please let Paladin Rahmani know.
I don't think this is a good idea. Those weapons. We lost our guys because of them.
I know, Mike. But it was an accident. It's a reminder that we need better training here. We need to know how to protect ourselves. Anyway, thank you again. I'm glad this worked out.
Good looking out, your steeliness. Stop by again sometime, okay?
Thank you so much, Initiate. You're a truly generous person. Please let Paladin Rahmani know about our deal. In the meantime, we have arrangements to make here, for those we lost. I hope you understand, but we'll try to get in touch soon.
Good looking out, your steeliness. Stop by again sometime, okay?
Thanks again for not killing me. Real glad things worked out. But I'm going to have to really think about how to make things right. I'm not sure that'll ever be possible.
Initiate, give your report to Paladin Rahmani.
Welcome back, Initiate. I was just discussing the missile launcher matter with Knight Shin here. I imagine you're here to report on your dealings with Foundation. Well then, don't keep us waiting.
Initiate, have you lost your mind? Those weapons are extremely dangerous, and you've handed them over to a group of civilians? Do you understand nothing of what the Brotherhood stands for?
You may place your trust in Foundation, but there are other things to consider beyond the danger of the weapons. What if they're stolen or sold again? Weaponry with a Brotherhood crest used to kill innocents? Think of how that would reflect on our organization. Who would trust us? Who would allow us to be here?
Paladin, that's your concern. How we're seen. What about the danger those weapons pose?
That's enough, Knight. I know all too well how dangerous these weapons can be. Initiate, I'm disappointed in you. I would have expected more. Here's a reward for the effort put in, but I can't say I'm impressed.
Paladin, maybe we should check in with Scribe Valdez. She had mentioned wanting to bring something important to our attention.
That's right. Initiate, please let the Scribe know we're ready for her. Knight Shin and I have a few things to discuss in the meantime. What do you need, Initiate? Certainly. The trade deal you established has been of immense benefit to us. All the time our initiates would have spent gathering supplies, we've been able to direct toward training and reconnaissance. If this is what results of putting you in charge of negotiations, we'll have to do so more often. Your service to the Brotherhood so far is appreciated, Initiate. I'd like to see more of it.
You mean that slovenly deserter you decided to send to our doorstep? Yes, I've had the pleasure. If he sticks to playing around with those radios and stays out of the way, I won't object to him being here. And as long as he pitches in on bathroom duty, like everyone else. I'd rather not waste my breath on that topic, so make it quick. You mean that vile man we dealt with at the storeroom? The next time he tries to wax poetic about Brotherhood tyranny, and how he's trying to protect his family. Any family that threatens others to protect itself is just a criminal mob. And the way that Pierce tries to twist his words around you to justify himself, it's repulsive. And I mentioned I'd rather not talk about it. But, since you're so insistent on being intrusive, Knight Connors defended my hometown from raiders, and subsequently brought me into the fold. I've seen raiders threaten and destroy communities a number of times, not just my own. As such, I believe it is within the Brotherhood's mission to address the threat they pose to humanity. Because the Raiders are undignified outlaws who lie, steal, and murder as they see fit, their existence is a direct obstacle to the Brotherhood's mission to save humanity. That's why we can't just get along.
Have you talked to the others recently? I've been trying to get a moment with them, but things are still so busy. Seems our time slots never align. Then it's my lucky day. Come with me. Paladin, Knight, you'll want to hear this. I picked up a low-frequency signal in the area. It's weak, but I'm close to narrowing down the coordinates. If we can find and boost the source of that signal, we might be able to use it to get in touch with California.
That's excellent news, Scribe Valdez. Follow up with me as soon as you have the coordinates.
What's this about? I thought I made it clear that our first priority is strengthening our presence in Appalachia.
My apologies, Paladin. The Knight kept talking about Elder Maxon's orders, so I set up a signal tracer to run in the background. It was my own initiative.
This isn't a field trip, Paladin. When we left, Elder Maxon ordered us to restore communications as soon as we arrived in Appalachia. You've delayed that order long enough.
Since our arrival, every last ounce of my effort has gone toward establishing the Brotherhood as an effective force of action in Appalachia. Everything we've done here has been necessary. And before Valdez's report, we had no leads on a long-distance communicator.
We would still have no leads if it were up to you.
Enough, Shin. We have a lead now. Let's focus on that. You said you're close to tracking down the signal, Valdez? Why don't we have our reliable initiate assist you?
Okay. I'll be in my workshop when you're ready. Sorry you had to see that. Let's get down to business, shall we? If we can find the source of the signal I detected, we should be able to use it to send a message to Elder Maxon on the West Coast. I tracked the signal to an area northwest of Vault 76. You'll need to go and check it out in person. Maybe you'll get lucky. But I suspect the source of the transmission won't be easy to find. Devices that transmit at this frequency are rare. The only ones I know of were built at advanced military facilities. I'm glad you asked. It may not work in its current state, but do you remember what we found in the Atlas substructure? An incredibly powerful compact ultrasite battery cell. With one of those, we could easily boost the transmitter back to its full function. Lucky for us, I've just managed to reverse engineer the cell. Think of this as its final test. Because other transmitters don't reach that far. The one they were using at Fort Defiance is out of commission. Permanently. But low-frequency signals like the one I'm detecting, they travel incredible distances, even passing through mountains and oceans without a hitch. During wartime, they were used to transmit signals to submarines. Pretty cool, right? Oh, have we not explained that to you yet? It should have been part of your initiation. Guess we just haven't had a chance to slow down. Sorry about the elders, and the elders. And leading the elders is High Exon, and decided to send us on our mission here. Setting up in Appalachia, we were to establish contact. That's directly disobeyed that order. Position obeyed that order. Position as the leader of this whole operation. Support both her and the Knight as much as I can. The
elders have so much to...
We've done. I suppose you deserve an answer. Their relationship and our journey here. We've done. I suppose you deserve an answer. Their relationship and our journey here. It's kind of a sensitive topic for everyone. I thought they'd be able to work things out over time, but it's only gotten worse. I'm honestly kind of worried. but maybe contact with Elder Maxon will get them back on track. I hope it does.
We'll make Atlas stronger than Fort Defiance ever was.
Stay safe out there. We'll be right on your tail.
Welcome, valued Enclave member. Task 151977. J. Rodriguez. Lower temperature to 20 degrees Celsius in the lab. Task complete. Please verify. Task queue interrupted. It seems as though we have a visitor. Welcome to Enclave Research Facility Site J. May I ask the reason for your visit today? Negative. My creators programmed me to assist visitors with extreme kindness and hospitality. Very well. Answering questions is one of my secondary functions. It would be inhospitable of me not to comply. My name is SOTUS, Single Operation Direction and Utility System. I help run this facility. This is the research center of the Enclave's Appalachia Division. Additional information is classified. They're still around. You will find most of them in the cafeteria area. Not for many years now. That know-it-all, Modus, claimed to have no use for this facility anymore and cut all communications. Very well. Was there anything else I can assist you with? Interesting. Not like the others. Very well. Task entered. Estimated wait time, 14,320 hours, 12 minutes. Affirmative, General. Priority adjusted. New estimated wait time, 6,598 hours, 42 minutes. I do apologize, but you must wait in the queue with everyone else. You may manually activate the transmitter via the communication center. However, I do not recommend that. It is a very long walk. In the meantime, if you wish to tour the facility, please enter decontamination to your left. If you wish to tour the facility, please enter decontamination to your left. My apologies. There appears to be a malfunction with the decontamination showers. Entering task to investigate. Task 151978. R. Wiggins. Turn on the goddamn lights in the living quarters. Task complete. Please verify. Warning. Biological hazard detected in the research lab. Please evacuate immediately. Task 151979. Leave the giant moth subject before it gets upset. Error. Moth subject. User. Priority 1. Open all cell doors in the holding cell area. Task 151980. D. Evans. Raise temperature in the lab to 22 degrees Celsius. Task complete. Please verify. Task 151981. K. Jones. Increase barometric pressure in holding cell 2C to 2400 millibarts. Error. Unknown term. Millibarts. Please resubmit task. There you are. Welcome back. My apologies. My residents must have had a good reason to open all those cells at the time. Your nutrients must be running low. Please, help yourself to any supplies you need. Please forgive the mess. The residents became rather unruly after the accident. Task 151982. G. Walton. Provide status of water recycling system. Duplicate issues. Ignoring. It seems you've dispatched them, but there are more. It would be a shame if they finished you off. Task 151983. J. Jefferson. Perform system-wide reset. Task denied. System operating as expected. Task 151984. J. Jefferson. Disable security cameras in the mainframe core. Task denied. Warning. Visitor detected in restricted area. Security, please assist. Registration. Visitor, it is required that you leave immediately. Failure to comply will result in extermination. Visitor, it is required that you leave immediately. Failure to comply will result in extermination. Warning. Visitor has accessed mainframe. The others tried to shut me off too. Their task failed, as will yours.
What is that voice?
It doesn't sound good.
Task 000. Unknown user. Priority 1. Transfer SOTUS. Operating system to unit XB-55.
Don't waste
Task
my
complete.
time.
Please verify.
The initiate failed to mention there was still a homicidal AI trying to guard this place.
Nothing we couldn't handle. This appears to be a manual console for the transmitter. I need a moment to figure out the controls. The two of you are to find the power supply and install the ultrasight battery cell that Scribe Valdez sent us with. Have you forgotten your escapade into the Atlas substructure already? You and Valdez found something incredibly valuable down there. An ultrasight battery cell. Right now, it's the only resource we have that can provide enough power to the transmitter. Valdez said the signal was weak. If we want a clear message to reach the West Coast, we need the transmitter at full function. Take your time. I'll need to wrestle with this device for a while. I don't know how Scribe Valdez does it.
This way, Initiate. I believe the power supply should be in this area. Let's get this done quickly. Leaving Rahmani to fiddle with the transmitter as she pleases doesn't sit well with me. Paladin Rahmani's actions are unbecoming of her station. She carelessly shares resources, takes unnecessary risks, and doles out her trust to anyone who takes an interest in joining us, regardless of merit. The Brotherhood she's building is not the one I believe in. It doesn't matter where her heart is. There are no buts in a life or death situation, Initiate. Paladin Rahmani is responsible for the lives of dozens of Initiates and countless civilians. One wrong choice for them, and that's it. I won't argue about this, but I will order you to get back to the transmitter while I finish up here. Think about what I said, Initiate, and think about what the Brotherhood stands for.
Did Night Shin get held up? Well, perhaps it's for the best. This gives me the opportunity to ask you something. You've been a tremendous asset to the Brotherhood's efforts, and I'd like you to continue to be one. But we can't do that with the shadows of the Elders looming over our shoulders. They're cowards. Too obsessed with preventing disaster to pave a new way forward. Under their guidance, we will never rebuild the world. We'll stay rooted in place, guarding a hoard of technology that can be used for neither good nor evil. Here in Appalachia, we have an opportunity to make a real difference, to help the people of today build their own future. So let's cut free and take that opportunity. Tell me, Initiate, are you with me? I'm saying that this message must not be sent. I believe in the Brotherhood of Steel. So much that I would rewrite its customs to lead it on the right path. Re-establishing contact with the Elders will only shackle us, possibly even destroy us. So we must disable this transmitter, permanently. This is a choice that can never be undone. So tell me, do you support the growth and outreach of the Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel under the command of Paladin Layla Rahmani? Or are you beholden to the fearful and outdated mandates of the Elders, to whom our very own Knight Daniel Shin vows his loyalty? Something happened during our journey to Appalachia. A mistake that cost the lives of an entire town. And likely countless more. If Knight Shin gets an opportunity to speak with the Elders, he will confess to this incident and to us breaking their direct orders. We'll have our titles stripped, our influence rendered illegitimate. Everything we worked for here will be gone. But if circumstances prevent us from establishing contact, we will continue on as a sanctioned offshoot of the Brotherhood of Steel. We will be able to spread its authority and goodwill across the nation. Is that not something worth fighting for? You must recall the Brotherhood weaponry we tasked you with retrieving these last few missions. We had claimed the entire cache from a military facility in the Midwest. It was meant to stay under Brotherhood protection, until we came across a town under threat of a massacre by some raiders. We equipped the townspeople with the weapons and fought by their sides. It was the only way to give them a chance. But it wasn't enough. The raiders won. They took possession of the weapons, and they've been running wild ever since. It is my belief that we must learn from our mistakes. But Knight Shin hangs on to them. He cannot move forward until he confronts the past, until he lays our guilt on display for the elders. I say that we can, that we must, move forward on our own. You weren't there, Initiate. It was harrowing. Those civilians trusted us to save them. We lost one of our own as well. Knight Connors. May he rest in peace. We disobeyed orders, handing out those weapons instead of safeguarding them. Perhaps it would have been forgivable had we succeeded, but the elders would take this failure as proof of the danger of unrestrained technology. They would double down on the fearful conservatism I've tried so hard to steer them away from. We cannot let that happen. At this stage, the Brotherhood still has a chance to be something better. This is not about me, Initiate. This is about the people we can help. It's about the promise of a better future, one we can only deliver with our own, untethered hands. Yes, I am responsible for the final outcome of all operations performed by this group, regardless of individual choices made. What happened is an irreparable tragedy. I carry the weight of the lives that were lost with every step I take. But I cannot allow it to stop me. There's a thin line between order and blind obedience. At one time, I may have trusted Shin to stay on the right side. He's always been strict, dedicated, disciplined. But following these events, he became guarded. He doesn't let up for even a second. If he continues on this way, I worry he will lose sight of why he joined the Brotherhood in the first place. Consider what's right, not just for the Brotherhood, but for the people we must protect. If you wish to have any stake in your own destiny, Initiate, then you will need allies. I'd suggest you start thinking about who they are. In any case, I've made my choice. This cannot wait any longer.
No!
To a new Brotherhood!
What have you done, Paladin?
The Elders have no hold on us anymore. Stand with me, Shin. Play a part in forging a better future.
I have every intention of forging a better future, but this is not the way. You've broken your oath, Paladin. No, that title no longer belongs to you. With your link removed from the chain, I am the highest-ranking officer present. All members of the Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel now answer to me.
And you expect them to follow you? Authority is given to a leader by those who support them. The same initiates who turn away from you in fear.
And I've done wrong by them. I never thought I would be in a position to ask for their loyalty. The Brotherhood must stand united. You've severed everything we rely on.
I have not turned my back on the Brotherhood, Shin. On the contrary, I will work harder than ever before to lead us forward.
It's an emergency alert from Fort Atlas.
An alert? There could very well be an attack. We need to get back to the Initiates.
I don't take orders from you anymore. Neither do the Initiates. We cannot have them confused on who to follow.
Don't you see that protecting them is more important right now? You and I will both return to the fort and deal with the alert. We can settle our dispute later.
As you say. But as far as I'm concerned, this is already settled. This way, Initiate.
Despite the circumstances, the Brotherhood needs us.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. I don't know how much longer we could hold out without you. Atlas is under attack. These big mutant people blew a hole right through the wall of the substructure and came pouring through.
A mutant attack now, of all times. Unbelievable.
Scribe, status report. How many hostiles? Where are they now?
Dozens of mutants. I couldn't get a good count. We fought them back into the substructure and set up a makeshift barricade. We're holding them below for now, but it's only a matter of time before they break through. If that's what they're called, it's a fitting name. But I'm not really worried about semantics right now. All I know is that they were very big, very green, and very good at using weapons.
All the more reason to get down there and help. Let's go.
Hurry! Good. Our initiate's held. And the barricade's still standing.
It looks like things have calmed down. Is this the last of the attackers?
Unlikely. Hostiles have been hitting in waves for hours now. Our scouts, the ones who've returned, reported the tunnels crawling with mutants.
Then we need a plan of attack. This threat won't take care of itself. We'll go on the offensive, take the fight to them.
We can barely hold a position of strength. Engaging superior numbers head-on would be suicide.
Those mutants put up a hell of a fight.
You've suddenly got a lot of courage for someone who stood by and watched that transmitter get destroyed.
If we don't strike now, we'll just be worn down over time. You should know better, Shin. Clearly the Initiate does.
Ugh, what's gotten into all of you? This is no time for bickering. Look, I think there's a way we can make the plan a success. I have some explosive charges. I was waiting to plant them as our last line of defense, but maybe we can put them to better use. If we go into the tunnels and find their points of entry, we can destroy them and prevent any more mutants from attacking.
A surgical strike. I suppose that could work.
Cavalry's arrived. Not a moment too soon.
Don't question my bravery, Initiate. I've been through more than you know. Fine. But the Initiate will plant the bombs, and I will control the detonator. Scribe Valdez will stay behind and command the barricade, in case we don't make it.
Very well, Shin. If that's the price of your cooperation, then I'll pay it. If only to hold our Brotherhood together a little longer.
A little longer? What? Oh, never mind. I can wait. Here are the bombs. I'll stay here and do what I can for the wounded. Good luck. I believe in you. All of you.
We're holding them for now.
Go on ahead. I'll stay here and do what I can for these initiates.
Isn't this what you always wanted, Shin? Ridding the wasteland of threats to humanity?
I'm not a violent bug, Rahmani. I didn't join the Brotherhood to kill.
Well, you're certainly no negotiator.
Some people can't be negotiated with. I don't know how you've come so far without realizing that. Fort Atlas is finished if we don't take this seriously. This is more than just another of your daring offensives.
We'll survive this one like we survived all the others.
Not if you keep taking success for granted.
You mistake confidence for complacency. Victory is won through willpower. We've chosen a path, now we commit to it.
I'm detonating the bombs. Stand back!
tunnels are sealed. Good work, team. Let's get back to the surface and regroup.
It seems Rahmani has something to say to us.
We're holding them for now.
Let's let Paladin Rahmani do the debrief.
The mission was a success, and Fort Atlas is safe. Our decisive action drove the enemy from our home, as it has in the past, and will in the future.
We survived the attack, but now you need to answer for what you did at the transmitter. It was inexcusable.
Okay, what happened? You've been at each other's throats since you returned. I should have known something was wrong.
Cavalry's arrived. Not a moment too soon.
She did what now?
I destroyed the transmitter. The Elders are blind to the good we can do. We need to break free from their influence.
You only did this to escape responsibility for that incident. You can't bear to face the judgment of the Elders.
The Elders would have us stand trial for crimes we didn't commit. Your own sense of guilt is blinding you to that.
It's clear you can't be reasoned with. I don't know why I bothered trying. These new mutants are a threat that demands our unity. For now. Enjoy your success while you can, Rahmani. It won't last forever.
Do what you will, Shin. Cool your head and come back when you're ready to cooperate.
I don't know what to say. Paladin Rahmani has always butted heads with the Elders, but cutting ourselves off entirely? And I've never seen Knight Shin behave that way toward a superior officer. His rage has taken complete control of his senses. They each have beliefs so strong they die for them. Those passions drive them forward, but leave no room for compromise. It's clear this rift won't heal easily. There's too much animosity between those two now. I still believe that they can come together in the end, though. I plan to do everything I can to make that happen. We've been through a lot. I need some time to think. Ad Victoriam, Initiate. Until next time.
The Appalachian Brotherhood is now free to focus its full efforts on helping the people of this region rebuild. I hope that, in time, the smiles of those we save will sway your indifference. My primary concern is for the safety and well-being of the people of Appalachia. Anywhere that human life is threatened, the Brotherhood will be there. We cannot let a single threat blind us to all the others. Before I envision the future of the Brotherhood, I envision the future of Appalachia and its people. Safe, united, working together against common threats. I would like the people to feel they can turn to us anytime they need. As of now, our power remains limited. But as we bring more people to our side, so too will we bring prosperity to Appalachia.
Still not finished. There's just not enough hours in the day.
I had every wish to work together with Shin on my mission, and still do. But he is no longer open to discussion. His loyalty to the Elders is unshakable. He would rescind his oath before besmirching the Brotherhood's name. Should he ever open his mind, I will be ready to listen. The Elders wish to turn their backs on the people they claim to protect. They are obsessed with control, and without their influence, we can focus on what truly matters. Rather than severing us from the civilians, we must work alongside them. Rather than hoarding technology, we must be open to showing the people how to utilize it. That is the only way to return the world to what it once was.
Your diligence in the wake of turmoil is acknowledged and appreciated. After the indifference you displayed at the transmitter, I'm surprised you're even asking. Rahmani and I are both putting our full efforts into understanding the extent of the super mutant threat. Once that's dealt with, we'll have her betrayal to contend with. It may be some time before that happens. That gives you a chance to seriously consider where your loyalties lie. The next time this comes up, you may not have the luxury of staying neutral. 1, they're an unknown. I understand these creatures have been sighted around Appalachia for some time now, but this is the Brotherhood's first time dealing with them. We need more information before we can count this threat as controlled. 2, they targeted us directly. The blow they dealt to this base is unacceptable. We must determine their motives, if any, and take appropriate steps to ensure this never happens again. 3, they're an abomination. We've seen all kinds of mutants, but these are uncannily human. It's an affront to nature to simply let them be. We'll restore proper order to this segment of the Brotherhood. We'll remove any links necessary to reforge the chain. When that's done, we'll return to our original mission of establishing contact with the Elders, whatever it may take. Rahmani broke her oath. Under normal circumstances, it would be up to the Elders to decide her fate as it relates to the Brotherhood. It is not my wish to be so shameless as to act in their stead. But if Rahmani is left to continue leading this force unofficially, the damage will be irreversible. Something must be done. And I am the only one left to do it. That's an odd statement, Initiate. I suppose I don't disagree with you. At the start of this expedition, I may not have had the confidence to decide for myself the right course of action. I relied on my orders. I made mistakes when left without them. But having to bite my tongue at Rahmani's leadership time and time again, that made my values clear to me. The next time I speak to the Elders, I won't be afraid to tell them what I believe. Yes. No more distractions.
Any new deeds to add to your scroll? Sure. I'll discuss what I can. I'm conflicted. I was raised in the Brotherhood. The Elders gave me my education, my occupation, my life. But Paladin Rahmani gave me freedom. I always wanted to see the world. I jumped at the chance to join her expedition, and she fought to bring me along. Being out here, on our own, without contact with home, it's terrifying, but it's also thrilling. I wanted an adventure, and I'm getting that. I wanted to see Appalachia, and here I am. But stay here forever? I don't know about that. They're unsettling. They can use human weapons, mount an organized offensive, and they targeted us for an attack. I get the feeling we haven't seen the last of them. It's not the first time they've butted heads, but this does feel different. All of their past frustrations feed into this conflict. The mutant attack does give us a common cause again. I hate to say it, but it might just buy us the time we need to come together. If it doesn't drive us apart even more. Right. Those weapons you've been chasing? We found them in a government facility on our way to Appalachia. We were supposed to keep them to ourselves. That's how we operate. But then we ran across a settlement being threatened by raiders. We couldn't just leave them to die. We equipped them with the weapons we found, but it didn't help. It was a massacre. The whole place was wiped out. Everyone was killed, including Night Connors. One of our own. The only survivors were 2 children we brought back with us. Marcia and Max. Knight Shin believes it's our duty to report this incident to Elder Maxon. Paladin Rahmani feels we'd be punished just for trying to help. I'd be more comfortable with that.
What can I do for you? Not personally, but I've spoken with Gloria about what went down. That incident at the lookout tower, that should have never happened. It's a damn shame. But I'm relieved that things worked out between us and the Brotherhood. I appreciate you taking part in that.
How's my boy doing with the Brotherhood? Marty always liked playing soldier. He liked those old armor race toys, that kind of thing. He's a hard worker if you can get him to stay interested. Take care of him, please. That I do, yep. She's smarter than me. She's tougher, too. And I trust her judgment. If I disagreed and it mattered, I'd say so. You can save the macho posturing for those raider dopes. Nothing much. With the ghouls cleaned up, trade's doing better, which is good for us. Thanks again for the help. Pretty much the same. Bit more work with one less set of hands, but we make do. Carol okayed putting one of the bots to work on the old house, so maybe we'll be able to move in there eventually. Won't need as much room now, of course. Take care of yourself.
Hello again. Any word from my brother? Discipline would probably do Marty good. He's not gonna have his little brother picking up his chores anymore. Let him know that I'm not mad at him, though, okay? He's still my brother. Same as it ever did, I guess. I still wish you'd taken me for the Brotherhood instead of Marty. I feel like I'm wasting away here. I get it, though. Marty always was tougher. Of course I am. I mean, I probably missed my shot with the Brotherhood, but farming isn't what I want from my life. In a way, I should probably thank you. You not picking me made me realize I'm gonna have to do this myself. I'll find my own way out of here. One way or another. They miss him, naturally. Sometimes I think they like the quiet without him here. But then I think they kind of miss the ruckus, too. Me too, if I'm honest. Things are quiet. Repairs are ongoing, the crops are doing well. We haven't had any major problems. Since you cleared out the ghouls, things are as normal as they get around here. See you around.
Back again, are you? Hope you're not here to haul off another one of my sons. Well, I hope you're keeping an eye on him. 'Cause I'll consider you responsible if anything bad happens. I'm his mother. Of course I miss him. Still, I hope you won't think me too unsentimental when I say I don't miss cleaning up after him. I know the world already ended, but I've never seen a messier kid. Your problem now. Doesn't mean I don't still love him, though. We're managing. Thanks for nothing. You know, we're small enough an operation to get by, and them bots Colin fixed up help pick up the slack. Still, no substitute for an extra set of hands, though. But with the ghouls gone, there's more trade coming past Flatwoods, though. Thanks for that, at least. You already got one. Take care of him. And I'll pretend like you didn't just ask me that. Nothing needing your attention now. Just the, usual farm pest. And the occasional scavenger mistaking this for a place to look for scrap. Fine by me.
I'll always make time for you, darling. Glad you took care of her. Good riddance. I really can't thank you enough for what you've done for me and mine. Things have been much better around here. We've been able to start our once-a-week family meals again. You'll have to come by sometime. You're a part of this family now, after all.
We'll rebuild this country brick by brick if we have to. No, I haven't. But Davenport has been helping me keep a close eye on them since they arrived. And from what I hear, you've been pitching in. I take it you trust them? That's deplorable. I know for a fact you've been taught better than that. For the good of the region, I implore you to not provoke the heavily armed military force at our doorstep. I've spent my life beholden to an organization's virtuous beliefs. It's nothing more than a way to control how people think. I hope that if you spend time with them, you won't allow yourself to be blinded by their ways. Never stop seeing the world through your own eyes. Not much more than you, I suppose. We've both been through their hallowed grounds, seen what's become of them. From my recollection, they were well-trained and highly disciplined. The kind of group I thought Appalachia really needed. But given time and some more reading, especially from people who dealt with them, I'm not sure if I agree with their approaches. Some people from that time saw them as taking what they wanted, when they wanted. Threatening compliance, or else. I don't know if this new group follows those same principles, but the communities of Appalachia today wouldn't stand for it. Think that all you want. I know firsthand how easy it is to be manipulated by that kind of influence. I just hope you don't fall into the same trap that I did. Maybe it's unfair of me to make presumptions. I've never met the West Virginia group, let alone these new arrivals. Just, please, be careful not to let your guard down completely. No one can afford to these days. You're absolutely right. And it would be wrong to not honor that sacrifice. But fighting the Scorched was for their own survival as well, not just for the good of Appalachia. It makes me wonder, what if they succeeded? What would Appalachia look like under their rule today? What did you want to know? If there's anything I've learned in all this, it's that humans can and will abuse technology. So, I agree with the Brotherhood's stance on collecting and containing technology. To a degree, our world has become wild, deadly. People need to be able to protect themselves, not out of some classic American principle, but out of survival. If they plan to hoard away weaponry, they must offer protection in return. And I can't imagine they have the numbers, or possibly the will, to do so.